Hey guys, welcome to the close. Couple hours left in another negative trading session here. We made a hard right turn at 10 a.m. exactly, and it's been nothing but selling ever since then. Here's a look at how things stand heading into the final hours of pretty crazy Monday here. 0.76 now for the S&P, back to the downside. 0.25% for the Dow. It was the last one to go red, and now down a quarter of 1%. 1.6 there for the Nasdaq. Leading the way once again, TSX here in Toronto also red. Yeah, there's a theme, the whole thing. 6% still for crude oil. That's well off the lows as well for crude. It's worth mentioning. Bitcoin and Ethereum struggling as well. That's Nielsen. We'll talk about that coming up. Huge move higher on a possible takeout offer coming for NLSN. So lots of volume coming into that. More COVID cases over in China lifting. Moderna today. Pfizer had some separate positive news as well, but otherwise, pretty negative day for healthcare stocks right across the board. Software makers, EPAM continues its recovery, post-earnings recovery there. NLOC as well, back to the upside. Everything else for the tech group to the downside, leading the way. In fact, look at LVS, 12% now lower. Win, 7.9%. Penn, all the casinos here back to the downside. We did see some early strength in some of the airlines. They've even faded off now. I don't see them here at all. That's our OL, not RCL. I don't see the airlines there at all anymore. They were higher initially. There's the energy group as crude oil continues to tumble today. Very red for energy stocks. Mosaic, NEM, FCX, ALB, and Newmont there leading the way for material stocks. Back in negative territory. Take-Two having trouble today, 6.5%. A few other names, though, offsetting that for the communications group. Quick look at the NASDAQ here, the very red NASDAQ outside of the Moderna move that we saw. 10.8% there for Moderna, back higher. Everything else, including, the Chinese names getting hit today. 9% there for Baidu. We'll have a look at that. We'll have a look at Alibaba coming up here as we get into the afternoon. Welcome, guys. Hope you're well. Interesting afternoon setting up here as we head towards Wednesday. Obviously, the Fed coming Wednesday. We were wondering how much movement we were going to get heading into that decision on Wednesday. The answer, some more selling, obviously. We're going to kick things off with a bit of a look back at what we were looking at the open this morning. Lots of opportunity this morning. Sean's going to lead the way here with a look at what we were talking about this morning.
Hey guys, what's up? It's your trade of the day today, and today it's going to be pretty simple. As you can see, it's going to be Mr. Baba, I presume, and it's to the downside. And look, we triggered this real early. We came in, we saw the notes from the watch list, tradertv.live. Make sure you hit that up. And all over there was Chinese names. So we actually wrote down two of them. And it was Baba and Neo. And it was just really simple. They're looked to delist, right? I mean, there's news about the delisting right now. So we wanted to look at that, watch out. And look at this number right here. 82 short off open if we can get it, right? And then we'll watch out for Neo. So we can take that off the screen, but there it is, Baba 82. So, we were already looking for those levels. And then, so let's just talk about it right here. Look at that. We take it in the pre-market, first of all, 81.50, because here's 82. And look when it breaks, 9 o'clock to the downside. Unfortunately, that early, we still have market on open imbalances, and we have the market kind of figuring itself out. So we never, and this is a new rule for me, I'm not going to put on a serious position. I mean, I could have traded it with smaller shares there, but I'm just not going to put on a big position until closer to the open. So even this spot right here that we put on at 81.50 or so, look where we wind up getting a piece out, 80. So we take $1.50 early on half of it, and then all of a sudden we had a data issue here off the morning, but you can see Baba rips back up, and there's that 82 fill that we were looking for. So Baba actually made a move down here to 78. Unfortunately, we don't have that, but it's the same base right here between 78 and 79. So here's that Baba 82. And if you look at a daily chart, this is actually a 20-minute, not a daily. The day just is so much of a mess. It's just straight to the downside. As you can see, even here off a 20-minute chart, you go back to the 1st of March, we were at $108 at the 1st of March, right? Wow. We're only talking about March 13th today. This is less than 2 weeks, and the market has absolutely collapsed down to 78 right now for Alibaba. So wow, it's just been disaster, 30% down or so in about 2 to 3 weeks. Just nasty move. There's the 82 short, and then it's just cash, cash, cash all the way down. Unfortunately, we don't have any right now. What can we do? It did make a move back up. We were glad to get out of it. Let's review the trade quickly. There's the 82 short. Within a minute or two, we start getting 81s. That's 80.50. So now we're like $1.50 in the money. It's absolutely collapsing. And then this is where we really get out of everything. It's just 25, 25, 25, 25%. So each out is 25%. Why is it that major? It's because unlike some of my other trades that you've seen, this one is a fast mover. It goes basically right into our level. It goes right down to the day's bottom of 78. So when this is happening, I don't even have time to put orders in. So we're just going to go quarters. We've already seen it move 5-6% in the first 20 minutes. So here it comes down to the downside. Bang, out, $1.50 right there. That out is 78.30 or something like that off of an 82. We'll take $3.50, no problem. We put the last bit in our pocket and then we hope for a disastrous move to the downside, but we don't get it, which is completely fine because look where we wind up getting out. Right there, VWAP and the 50-period cross. That's like a little mini death cross for me. That's the trade right there. We get out and then it busts up to the upside. The only missed trade here on Alibaba today, honestly, is this reload. We could have been reloaded here. Unfortunately, it's a big spike in the market. Maybe you're thinking it goes higher. We missed the reload. But again, watch list.tradertv.live. Find me on Twitter @TraderTVSean. We had the 82, so anybody that's out there is like, oh, well, how do you know these prices? Well, we wrote it down at 8 o'clock. There's 82 once, there's 82 twice. It's literally the double high of the day, and it's all over the sticky note. Make sure you find that @TraderTVSean. But our watch list.tradertv.live, very important. It's Alibaba, and it's your trade of the day.
Yeah, pretty impressive move back higher for a lot of those Chinese names mid-morning, and then we get the eventual rollover back to the downside here for all of them. Again, some SEC. I mean, it's a rumor, but it's also a story taking a little more hold here. Looks like they're going to get further into trying to find some of these Chinese stocks that are not complying to some of the audit rules that they put into place. I just saw a few people mentioning this, the metals company. A little mining stock back higher again this afternoon on decent volume. TMC back above $3. Heads up on TMC there. Some of the other miners moving around with metal prices this afternoon as well. I was going to start things off with oil, though. We had a crazy move in oil back to the downside today. And yeah, we get to $100, guys, at the low there. Pretty impressive for crude. All the way back to $100 when we were talking about possibly all-time highs last week. We're right back to 100 and moving lower once again. Now 7% for crude oil.
It's been quite the ride for crude, right? Up, down, all
Where's
around.
the roller coaster?
And here we are in one contract, moving all over the place.
There
This
it
is the June contract here, or not the June contract, this is the April contract. It's a roller coaster ride. As you can see, everyone's there for the ride. Now we're on the downward swing as we kind of double topped around here. It looks close to 130 or so. And then here we are south of 100. Like I said this morning, there is some action around that 100 that might provide minor support if we got that bounce a little bit earlier. But again, it's not going to be much in terms of bouncing. So once we get back underneath 100 again, if we are able to maintain some sell side pressure, you're probably going to see us take a look at 95, 96 one more time, because that's where the majority of the volume is sitting anyways. So downward trend since we fell off from that double top here. And that day we took out 115. Oh man, that opened the door for a lot of shorts to come onto the table. A lot of longs got out, shorts came on board, and here we are writing it down, right? So oil down 7%, but you know in this market, all it takes is just one news headline. That's all it takes for this thing to turn around real quick. So just keep an eye out. Be careful if you are in oil names, especially the ones that are sensitive to headline risk at the moment. Well, the market is as a whole, but specifically more sensitive like oil, and obviously if you're in the commodities, the grains as well. But for now, oil, downward trend and down 7% on the day.
Okay, so I just sit back down and we're going to hit the hero again for Microsoft. I know we're going to talk about oil here, but just one trade that I put on before I sat down. I was trying to go long Microsoft down here. It did break the 50 period. And then I noticed, what the heck am I doing? Got to give it a little bit more room, at least onto this 278. So we reloaded the short. We're going to try to put Microsoft back into the positive side of things here. But that is that kind of a trade. You just hit over some of those oil levels. We saw CVX earlier, and again, I completely forgot about it during the day. Actually, a good thing we did. It doesn't look like it's been moving. CVX today caught a downgrade, which to me is strange. I think this is one of the best names you could own. Continuous dividend. They have a huge buyback on the board as well. So CVX, not CVS, CVX, Chevron, a nice little name here. And we're near the day's low on this bad boy as well, 164.50. You could see the epic rise CVX has had, man. You don't get this normally with these names, especially in the oil space. But wow, what a move. 135 up to 175. Definitely worth ringing the register up here. And I know Brennan, when I was up there doing the trade of the day, he mentioned some of the material names like a Nucor. That's off today. So this is another name that I've sold up here near 140, 150. And this name's starting to come back in a little bit. Same with, I'm assuming, Neil's a more US Steel guy. And so, yeah, both of these names coming off today as well. And you can see some nice recent highs being put into these names. So, yeah, unlike oil, or I guess like oil, some of these material names continue to make highs. Oil down 7%. I still think that's just a brief little bump in the road here, Brendan. I believe oil goes back north side.
Yeah, I wanted to mention this as well on CVX, guys. There was another headline that just popped up there on this. Actually started off that last little sell in crude as well. Chevron set to trade Venezuelan oil if the U.S. relaxes sanctions. So they've already got that, I guess, sorted out, how that's going to work and where they're going to get it from on the refining side, obviously. So that was for CVX. Nielsen, huge move right in the middle of the day here. We go from 17 up to 25, 26, 26, I guess was the top. Coming back in a little bit on this Wall Street Journal report, an Elliott management-backed consortium looking to take this thing out for possibly around $15 billion. So again, this is just a report from the Wall Street Journal, nothing confirmed yet, but hard to avoid that kind of volume and that kind of a move.
Yeah, I mean, hard to ignore it yet. This is the first time I looked at it, so I think that you're probably right. I mean, a big, huge volume spike here on the daily chart. And again, Nielsen Holdings, aren't they food and beverages and stuff? Or are we talking about a different company here? But a nice little move to the upside up to 23 bucks. Let me just check out what their story is. Like, what's their 52-week high here? This is a one-day chart. We're going to find out what exactly. Oh, this is the industrials. Okay, this is Nielsen Holdings. Okay, consulting. Okay, all the way up to the upside here, 22 bucks. So yeah, I was thinking. I don't know what name I was thinking there, but up to 22. That looks like a good spot that we could eventually settle. It's that kind of a high. But again, as you could see, I'm not very familiar with this story nor this name.
Yeah, I looked at the chart. I saw the chart much later. All the halts to the upside were done by the time I got around to looking at it. I mean, if you were there for the ride on the way up on the halt train, right, as soon as it took out to 17 to 18, you get in the halt, you get a gap open around 21 and change. And then it looks like another gap from 23 to 24 and change. And then that's it. That's done. And then I'm not even going to bother looking for it because I know usually when it comes to a move like this on a name that you don't hear that often, odds are you got to pay for shorts. You know, I don't like paying for shorts. So I'm not even going to, I was late to the party anyways, but I also wasn't going to pay for shorts on the way back down after all these halts. So for me, if you missed the move up, that was it. The move's done, you move on. Now, if you've got shorts and you've paid for it, now you can try to work it. I don't know what the level 2 looks like, though. Let me take a quick look at the level 2. It's a New York name? Yeah, it's a New York name. 20 million shares. It's pretty tight, actually. For a move like this, the spread is actually pretty tight. So it is moving back down. Enjoy the ride. If you've paid for shorts and you've got the short near the high, then I think you are priced well and in a good spot. But now, I'm not gonna get involved. I'm not gonna go more into it, but it has been quite the ride, and now it looks like the ride's over. You're coming off a little bit there, Brendan.
I actually did the same thing there, Sean. It's the milk. There's Nielsen dairy products. I guess they do more than milk, but yeah, this is the analytics firm, I guess. China stocks continue to be watched here. We talked about Alibaba off the top there, guys, but. Yeah, it was a trade, I guess, but you had to be careful off the open this morning because, as we said, they all came right back, and now here we are back at day lows for pretty much all of them.
Yeah, just real quick. Yeah, Nielsen. Yeah, the Nielsen ratings, right? It's like, you know, who's watching the Super Bowl, analytics company. So good call there. Yeah, I thought it was dairy. That's why I was like, it has to be something with food, right? I mean, it makes sense why people are buying those out. But okay, right here, new position alert. We're on Facebook again. We've destroyed Facebook. Facebook was a great stock today. We actually started hitting some longs. You can see here, this long didn't work. Right here, we dumped that, but then we got it back, got it back, got it back. And now we'll try the short against this 189. I'm really, really surprised here about Facebook, and I'll tell you why. Like, what? Up today, up 0.55%. A company that I consider infinitely better, Mr. Softy, opposite, 1% worse than Apple, than Microsoft. And then this company that I consider better than them all, Apple, down that 2.44%. We know the Foxconn news as well. So we're going to hold out on this Facebook trade and just see. I don't like being short the stronger name, so that's something to be worried about. But our out is upside here, 189.11. We take out that little high wick right there on Facebook. We're going to get out, but we will average in one more time around 188.90 or so, right where that VWAP is, right here. We're going short into this level. Hopefully, we can get a move back down to the 50 period would be great. That wick never happened, but hey, maybe that's telling me something. Let's put a bid down here somewhere. Like, we're already short at 70. Look how much Facebook rides for us. Like, you might think like, oh, okay, well, like, why are you getting out right now? But it's about trading your own book, right? Like, if you have, even if you have 100 shares here and it just goes down in the money 40 cents, it's still 40 bucks. I mean, you might want a little bit more than that, obviously, but it depends on your style of trading, how you're adding liquidity, removing liquidity, what's happening with your trades, and then piecing it out. So I'm always down with taking something out. I'm bidding 38. It just stopped at 41 there. There it is. So bang, first step right there. You guys wanted Facebook? There it is, man. The Wiz is in the building. A little quick Facebook scalp right there for 50 cents. Actually, it was more than that. We got 38s from 70. Now 50 cents, almost 42 cents there on the downside of Facebook. Now we'll wait to see if we can get something down here. Let me just put an order right now in case I start talking, and of course we don't get it. Let's go to 187.60 right around here for Facebook, literally where that wick is. Let's just see if we get lucky and hit that. So that's Facebook, 1 for 1 right there. Now, before I started blabbling on, which welcome, this is Sean, this is the show, and that's what happens. But we'll go over to Baba quickly. You mentioned this name. We mentioned it today. It was a pretty easy name for us to look at. We've been watching Alibaba, and we sit like a thief in the night, right? We were waiting for this name to come through here. Here's it on our sticky note, and this is what we talked about. You know, while the Chinese names can't find bottoms, Neo and Baba. I haven't even looked at Neo, but Alibaba, we knew they couldn't find a bottom, and we just wanted that 82 short. So for me, pretty easy play here today. Why did we want 82? Well, there was a lot of consolidation between 82 and 83. And I just felt like on this break, we wanted the short. It happens at 8:45, too early for me. But it does pop back up, and we're like, okay, we'll take a little bit at 850. So we take that at 81.50, like I said, and there's the cash at 80 flat. So that's $1.40. Then we had a data problem. It rips up to 82 bucks. We take that short. That's the price we'd liked it. It was so nice, Arun. It gave it to us twice. That's the rhyming. I came up with that last week. Do you like that?
There you go.
It's so nice.
You're very inventive.
Thank you, Arun. And then we took it right there at 82, and then it was all the way to the downside from there, and it was a party central. Unfortunately, we did get it out at 80, but we'll take that $2 all the time, especially when this happens. The only problem is, and I think this is the same thing with you on Baidu, there was no reload, and it should have been reloaded into here, especially taking out 80 to the downside was a pretty easy trade. I'm definitely debating this look right now. You know, taking out 77.50 is right where we're at. That's the low of the day. That's probably a short as well. But Baba's down 11%. Like, it was down 30% on 2 weeks coming into this print. And now you're down another 10%. Yuck, man. I don't know what to say about this name, but it just keeps on getting hit to the downside. Any talk there about your Baidu?
Yeah, well, Baidu was a short-lived rocket launch failure, if you want to call it that. Yeah, so we grabbed long 112s, and you know, we waited for a few minutes, and then it took off $4 all the way up to 116.5. We were targeting 118, and then immediate turnaround, right? That was the high, backed off, gave it a chance again towards 114 and change, backed off again. Once it took out 112, I was like, you know what, give me my 10 cents, let me walk away from this, and we walked away with a 10-cent winner after having it up $4.50. And then it decides to fall off, right? So it was a right exit. The issue with Baidu and a lot of these other names is that it was a short-lived rally, which into a gap that fails is a problem, which also means that we have a lot more resistance to get through now if we were to go back into it. And that also means the downside is wide open because now we have to target Baidu 102 as a potential break point for another short. That's essential. That's that whole little failed rocket launch through 112. That's the information you got from that. So the way I'm looking at it, this trend is now back in play after that move. I guess through here on Friday here from 136 all the way down to 121. And now here we are trying to go up and we can't even get that. So now we're going from 116 on the high all the way down to 108 at the moment. Day low is 102. And based on the way it's been moving and what we've seen in the past, odds are it's going to continue this because they can't even get enough juice to get it going to the upside. So with the market falling and these Chinese names falling off as well, even attempted buys are failing, I think you've got to look at the downside in the next entry or next stage of entry is what I'm looking for. I'm looking at that 102 bottom as a potential next point where I can step into this.
Yeah, the grind continues back to the downside here. I saw our friend Kevin O'Leary joining Team Munger on CNBC at lunchtime, talking about BABA being a good buy right now. Tesla, guys, also back to the downside here in a big way. Also, a very volatile trade this morning off of the open. If you missed it at lunchtime, Electrek, the website, reporting they're going to increase solar panel prices. Again, this all has to do with supply chain and inflation. If you missed it over the weekend, they were talking how inflation is hurting both the car company and SpaceX right now and will continue to do so going forward.
Yeah, and we got some love for this call as well on the chat about Tesla short through 800. And yeah, some people texting me, hey bro, I got $20 on that trade, good trade. And again, this was another name here. I'm gonna keep doing it. All we're doing is reviewing right now. Look at Tesla, looking short at 800. That's it, simple call right there on Tesla. Shout out to the sticky note. We'll put this in our chat. And I know everybody in the chat has already seen this a million times. It's just more for people that maybe are joining us for the first time. But there's Tesla, look at that, 800, man. It came up, hit the 800 at about 10:20, and then just completely tanked off that level. Tesla's been in trouble for a couple days now, but you know, when you look at a daily chart, though, maybe we can go to Ms. V for this one, as she's a Tesla trader, but it's been 3 trades to the downside here on Tesla, and honestly, this top here at 950, I don't know the next time we're going to see this. I'm hoping it's tomorrow, but you know, that doesn't look very likely. The 50 period is now, you know, definitely turning to the downside. It's looking more and more like it wants to cross at some point this 200. That's never a good sign. Tesla just keeps on motoring to the downside. We've talked about 800 being one of those sticky moments for Tesla. We've bounced off 800 back here in January, but now we're not, and you just got to watch out. That low is 688. I don't know if we're going to get to it that low right now. That was back on February 25th. That was a disaster in the morning when a lot of stocks completely fell off the face. I'm pretty sure that's true. It closes the day at 7. Yeah, that was an early day. Closes the day there at 750. So that's really what we're in trouble with. Today's bottom wick was 756. That's the bottom of the day. That's only $10 from now. This could be a big time trouble spot for Tesla. If we close below this level here, 755, look out below, man. That's about all that I can say. If we do take 755, I want to go short. So I'm going to get my order in right now for a 755 short on Tesla. If that breaks, man, I guess it's 756. I'm just going to get 756. We're going to go short Tesla 756 if it breaks it. And then other than that, we're above the 50 period, so that's something. And I don't really want to deal with it here. It was a nice 50 period move all the way down and a nice move back up. But right now it's a little too congested. I think we have to wait and make sure that the market does want to collapse, and we'll take a 756 breakdown here on Tesla.
Yeah, Tesla's typically not my favorite name to trade, just because of the volatility aspect of it. I do like volatility, but Tesla's volatility is on another level where it just goes whips action back and forth. And if you get lucky and you time it perfect, I mean like perfect timing, then you don't have to spend the extra $10 to hold on to the trade, right? So the fact that it came through right to 800, and then spun right back around towards that 750 now. Everyone's looking at 750, right? That's where, let me just mark this off here. This is what 750 looks like. If you were to draw this line out and take it across, what do you have here? What is this from the 24th? 750 is pretty much where we hesitated before we kind of continued the extension upside. So 750 is going to be the next level to look at. Clearly, 750 on one end, 825 on the top end, box it in and see which direction we go. Right? If you get back above 780, maybe you can argue for a bounce back towards, I don't know, the 800, 825. Doesn't seem like it's worth the risk to me. So since we're only $13 away from 750, see what 750's got. And then figure out what to do from there. But for the time being, I think Tesla, if you don't have it on the pop-off initially this morning, then it's probably too late to get involved this late, because now you got to worry about 750, which is not too far away.
All right, I just saw Boeing, guys, popping back up on a volume spike here. It looks like it was buy side as well, so heads up. Boeing basically back at day lows right now, so maybe a spot, but down 1.8%. Remember, there was a couple of stories this morning on new orders for Boeing. You can see a nice volume spike there for BA. But anyways, let's talk about Apple here, because we had Apple on the list this morning on that news story that over in China, Foxconn has stopped for the time being manufacturing Apple parts because of yet another COVID-19 outbreak over in China that they've shut things down for.
On, get to the downside here. We did get blown out of our initial Facebook trade, but we took it again. Yes, sir, there it is. So we'll go a little bit of a roller coaster ride here for sure on Facebook, as we just got stopped out as it took down that 189 and actually made a high of 189.40, but we're right back into this trade. Another 50 cents in the money on this, 17 cents in the money on SoFi. We will talk about Apple now, though. Look, man, I mean, here's Trader Pratt. If you didn't get filled 150, man, cancel and just push bid right now. 50 cents is not going to matter. But it's at that 150 level. Scary, scary thoughts here. I wish that I had never put one piece of anything lint into some of these names that I own, like a DraftKings, or I mean, I'm not in DraftKings anymore, but you know, like the PaySafes of the world, the PayPals of the world, and everything, because we're all getting our dream right now. And whether or not this is a nightmare, I'm not sure. But Apple all the way down to 150, crossing the 200 period. When's the last time? I mean, honestly, I can't use our charts because we have split adjusted, but look at Apple right here. I know that there's a problem with it. We know the market, right? So let's not sit here and pretend like, oh, everything's fine. It's not fine. We know that there's you know, pretty much a war happening right now, and you know, we also have supply chain constraints, which has to do with that, but they were also existing before Russia and Ukraine. And now you have Foxconn there in China. They're shutting down. There's the Omicron variant apparently running rampant there as well. So this is a problem. The reason why I call this up, this is the 200 period right here, this red, which is at 155. Guess what? Look how far below the 200 period we are right now. Like, you've never, this is Apple, and unfortunately, I guess I can go all the way back and find out, but we didn't even touch the 200 period at all until back here, when we made this high of 136, and then a fall back in. This is when it first hit, I think it was 2 trillion or something, fell right back into 122 before hitting the 200 period and ripping back up. We did the same move back here, back in February, just 3 weeks ago. We hit this bottom as well of 152 before, that was that crazy day though that we talked about where Tesla went to 650, bang, all the way back up to the upside, up to 167. So you got your 10% back right there. I don't know if this is a start of something else, but I really feel like if you start buying Apple right now, you're not going to be disappointed, because you do have another spot to reload back here at 140. And I'm not talking about, hey, this is the be-all, end-all level. No, it's just you have an opportunity to buy Apple on the cheap. The dividend, I'll have to find out what it is, 1 point something. I don't know what it is now with this move to the downside, but you do get a nice dividend from Apple. Not nice, but considering it's okay, it's in there. You could trade the NASDAQ, but I like Apple at these levels. It's well below the 200 period. And trust me, China wants to get these factories back going. It's just, I feel like this could be a 1 to 2 week sort of a thing for Apple. And yeah, man, Apple is definitely in the penalty box right now, but they're only serving a 2-minute minor. This is not like a major. They're coming out of the box, and it'll be out of there pretty soon. And I feel like we'll regret not buying it at this level. I am not a financial advisor.
Yeah, and to piggyback on that, Apple, big part, right? It's down. Sean went through the technicals of it. Apple down 2.5% on the day. What does that mean for the NASDAQ? Oh man, 13,000 coming soon. 13,044. So we just crossed 13,050 recently for the third or fourth time today. And 13,000 has got to be the next number you're looking at. Let's take a quick look at the Nasdaq Futures. The reason I bring this up is somebody in the chat was asking about the Nasdaq Futures. So I'm like, you know what, let's take a quick look. That's what you got on the Nasdaq. 13,040 is what we're trading right now. The low of the day is 13,022. And we're not too far away. Remember, 40 points on the NASDAQ. If it gets going, not a big deal for us to get down there real quick. So keep an eye on 13,000, led by names such as Apple and Amazon today. Amazon down 2.5% and Apple down 2.6%. We've got NVIDIA at 4, Tesla down 4, Google 2.6, big names. The only one that seems to be relatively strong, Microsoft, as you may see. I am actually short Microsoft as well. That's up $1.20. So if Microsoft can get going, it can join the rest of the party, and we might take a look at that 13,000 very,
Are you short
quickly.
Microsoft?
What's that?
What price?
I've got in front of 278.96.
278.96.
Where you were going long, I was going short.
Up here,
Yeah.
279. Yeah, okay, yeah. We went back and forth there before dumping out. Yeah, I just watched. Yeah, wow, Microsoft down here. Did you call an out there? Because I like that 275 area right here.
I haven't looked at it out yet.
This is just a hold for you, right?
Yeah,
Until
it's a hold.
something turns. Okay, that's what I figured. Because right now I am on the strongest name, I think, right now. Like, how is Facebook still positive today? I mean, this is a strange one for me. I want to be able to try to hold this until we can. I mean, it should not be positive. Let's call it like it is. I feel like we definitely got dinged around on Facebook early trying to go short, but right now I feel like this is the short that we want. We're only 50 cents in the money, which is crazy because think about it. If I'd shorted Microsoft or what about AMD or anything over the last couple minutes, how much further down? Like, look at it. This is where we were short right into here, right? 102. Actually, I guess AMD's trying to hold up as well. AMD has that 101 print near it, so that's something that's going to be coming back through very, very soon. Watch out for 101 on AMD. We know AMD also has the 100 bid before it as well. So yeah, lots of pressure happening. I don't know, man. I might take another piece out here on Facebook, although I know this is not the proper thing to do, but it's not coming to the downside here, and I'm wondering why is Uncle Mark buying this? Him and Aunt Kathy really need to sit down. Check out ARK today, guys. ARK down what? 7% as well, 6% now to the downside, was down 6+ right there at $52. Wow. Check out this name. You want to find a name that has absolutely no love for it? Come on, Kathy. Like, Kathy Wood just getting absolutely destroyed on this. Like, I don't know. And I hear her on CNBC talking more confident than ever. Like, what? Like, she's saying, like, oh, we believe in our research. Really? I mean, I'm not sure what her research is. Maybe she's got to turn her papers upside down because right now this is going the other way for this fund. I did buy ARK KQ, was the first time we stepped into anything, and this was at $64. This is down to $57. I just preferred the holdings in this name, but wow, downside moves all about here as, of course, Facebook starts to rip back up again against us.
This actually reminds. Actually, yeah, we'll go to Brendan.
Yeah, sure. I just wanted to mention, guys, before we get into our frustrating stocks of the day, everyone's favorite time of day. This also happened midday while we were enjoying lunch. The CDC came out and said they're easing restrictions on cruise lines. So going from level 3 warning down to level 2, which is obviously in the right direction. But that happened about here on RCL. We get a nice move up to 69.5. But yeah, as you were, I guess, for the cruise lines as well. But let's have, I just saw a couple of people talking about some of these cruise lines. Let's have maybe a look at some of the cruise lines, guys, along with your frustrating stock of the day.
Going back to what Sean was talking about, ARK, I learned this recently. There's a completely inverse fund. Exactly. It's called SARK.
They do the exact opposite.
Exact opposite of what Kathy Wood. So if you agree with one person or disagree, you pick your fund. You've got Tuttle Capital short ARK, or you can go with Kathy Wood's ARK, and then figure out which direction you want to go with. We were talking about, what's it?
Frustrating. Is there a trade that you're frustrated about?
Frustrating.
I know.
Well, okay, hold on. Let me just put it out there. Roku short, Snow short, Roblox short, Netflix short, all of which I barely made any money on, and look at them now, right? I'm not even going to go through them because there's way too many. So every single short I had this morning that I barely made anything on is now double-digit figures in the money in terms of like 10. I think Netflix is like $10 in the money or something. So yeah, every single short I had this morning is a frustration for me. So there you go, guys.
Mine's going to be pretty simple, and I came up with this, and now I wish I didn't come up with this segment because it just frustrates me now, and then I get peed off when we talk about this, but I think it's fun just playing around. What about SoFi? SoFi for me is the most frustrating because we tried to go long at 8, which we did. We went long at 8.03, got like 5% out at 8.05. Like we thought we were going to hold this back here at 8.20, 8.30. I was even talking about that. I mean, I said 8.10 was really the target, like 7-8 cents would have been good, but then I did think that if we took that out, there was a chance to go higher. Obviously, the market is saying no to that one. But this is a frustrating stock for me. Why? Because then we reverse short. So we got in here, and then we got out. So that was a hit. Then we went short, and we held this all the way up, and then it completely collapsed. I still have a very, very small piece. But SoFi, again, like on this collapse, should have averaged in again, should be still short, and should have got out more at 775. So for me, SoFi has just been an absolute disaster of a stock. Look at this move. I said the YOLO trade was to hold it until 840. Well, guess what? 840 broke, and now you're like done. So that trade was a problem. It did come in. I still think 8 could be good, but people saying, hey, I'll see you at $5 on SoFi. I have no idea. Look at Clover. You want to talk about a name that's, again, another frustration name for me. I haven't gotten any more money into this. You guys know that Clovis, we've been buying this for a while. What's up to Chelsea Clinton there, who was recently bought in here as a board member. Look at this, just all the way back down to 270. Is this the all-time low? I think Clover touched $2. So I shouldn't say, I know that I'm pretty sure they did. Anyways, yeah, down here near 2, so I shouldn't make fun. But it's a nice move back up here to 350. And we actually thought that there was a chance for this to go. One day later, it takes the 50 period down again. So I feel like Clover's going back down to $2. That might be a load up spot, but I can't keep saying that, right? All these stocks keep on tanking, and it doesn't seem like there's any relief in sight whatsoever, Brendan.
Randy was just asking, guys, about this CGC story, Martha Stewart. Martha Stewart has a new medley of CBD gummies out today with Canopy Growth. And that's the package, apparently. So here's the headline, if you want to go to my screen, guys. So, yeah, that's the headline from this morning up on Canopy Growth. So you can look at weed or CGC. Martha Stewart doing it again.
You know, this explains so much why Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg did really well with their cooking show.
Did they do really well?
Well, yeah, people love them together. So clearly, this is one, right? She's got the vibe for it. And
I'm trying to find, Lucas is working on that. We had that sick beat, that weed smoking beat, but apparently it has been retired. But I don't know why. I feel like we need to bring that back. I'd be hitting that 24/7. Look at CGC, man. It is just, yeah, there's the 420 call. If you have that over there, hit it. I don't think we have it anymore. We have this one too. I like this one. Ding, ding, right there. Yeah, look at CGC, man. Like, you know, yeah, Martha Stewart to the rescue. I mean, look at that. Like, it's 550 right now. I don't know what the hell Martha Stewart's going to do to this stock. I just put her in jail just for recommending this stock all the way to the downside. $6 now. CGC was just 27. I don't know. I've been watching this stock, and every time I look at the portfolio, I just want to light one up anyways. So this is all the way to the downside. There's absolutely nothing happening here with CGC. I don't know, Arun. I'm, for one, speechless. I have nothing to say. Until they legalize marijuana on the federal side of things, this is a done deal. And even at that point, if you come in tomorrow and see CGC up 100%, you know where that goes back to? That goes back to about 3 weeks ago. So you're already down 50% from that level. So 100% back gets you to flat, and that's on a 100% up day. And guess what? That's not coming anytime soon. Thanks a lot, cannabis companies, and so on and so forth. Maybe your product is half decent. I don't know if that's what Martha Stewart's all about, but sure not an investable name. Well, yeah, she's, yeah, anyways. So the way a lot of these names are moving, obviously, to the downside, but that's how the cycle plays out. Remember, a while ago, weed names were just everything you would trade, right? It was just super hot. And then people moved on to something else, and it was pretty much, it was on the sideline for a little bit, and now they're all just falling off as people rotate money over. It's probably gone back down to the lows that we've seen it now. But in terms of cycles, this is a good example of market cycles and how people just move from one sector to the next. When it was hot, it was great, and then it was moved on to the next, and then it was crypto, right? And crypto is still in play. And then EV names, all hot: Tesla, Workhorse, Rivian, Li Auto, XPEV. And now people have moved on to something else, which everyone's trading oil stocks, which have been around for such a long time. So with oil moving, now it's a cyclical thing. It's not just cyclical, but it's just like where the hot commodity is right now. What's the hot news item, right? Everyone today is trading Mullen, but if you get an entire sector, then everyone's going to trade that until we move on to something else. So
the sector that was weed, it could come back alive, but a lot of the names are in a downtrend as money gets rotated out of it, or has been rotated out of it into other names and other sectors. And that's what you're seeing. And just be aware that that can happen in any sector as it goes from a hot name or a hot sector to something that's not hot anymore.
And we'll dab it up because I think that's like-minded right here on those names. Your Microsoft went all the way back up, and I was a little bit mad that I didn't buy some of those bottoms, but instead we'll short the strongest name out there, Facebook. Like, that makes sense. But we've seen Facebook fall at the end of the day before. So it's 240 right now. We still do have a little bit of time to go. Let's see if Facebook wants to take these highs. 189.50 is right here. I'm pretty happy holding it against that. So if it does go back up to the upside, we're short at 77, which means we need to take... You know, I mean, I don't want to hold this all the way up there, so I don't know. I can't really find any other levels. I mean, we've made a mess a little bit up here. The problem with Facebook is how aggressive it is. So it's like, if you don't say you want to get out like at 189.35 here or something like that, the next thing you know, like, it's just going to ramp like crazy. This out here was 189.10 or something, right? We wound up getting 11s, which is good, but look where the candle stops, 35. So, like, again, you have 500 shares or something. Even to have a 10-cent different out there can cost you pretty big. And that little wick right there is actually 25 cents. So, like, very important that you pick, so even right there, you pick and choose your levels. Like, that was 189 flat, and then in the same minute, we touched 188.52. Actually, that's where we started. So in 1 minute, we went all the way to the upside. But either way, look, you're down 25 cents again in just a matter of seconds. So try to be as specific and as careful as you can. Our last reload is literally right here, 188.79. So that's our last reload. That's our average price, 188.77 off of these VWAP prints. And I'm just going to use these areas of concern again. But I'm going to give this wick top, which is 189.40. I'm not going to give it to 189.50 or anything like that up here. We're just going to give it to 40. I mean, maybe 50 matters. Yeah, okay, let's give it 10 more cents. Like I said, shouldn't matter that much on Facebook. It'll allow us to average in one more time. But yeah, 189.50, and that's that. The market's coming back in. So should this stock. Microsoft probably flowing a little bit better with the, yeah, there it is. So a little bit better with the market. If we just shorted Microsoft at the same time, like, now you'd be in the money there, that 50, 60 cents. So I think Arun's right. That is weaker, obviously, than Facebook. So watch out for the Microsoft shorts. And then, honestly, Apple down to 150. I mean, that's going to be a party. We'll see if there's size there. And then Tesla's the other breaker 19 that we're trying to hear at, but that's 756. So we still have $10 to go before we take this Tesla short. I don't even know if we'd like that short. I mean, there it is. We just take out another cash. Will Gronk spike it as he's probably going to come out of... Did he officially retire? I don't know. He was decided undecided due to his boy TB12. I mean, I saw Tom Brady there in the last game of the season, hooked up Gronk for 8 catches, 150 yards,
to get his
and
bonus,
a touchdown,
right? To
get 2 bonuses. He got the touchdown bonus and the catch bonus, or the yards bonus, one of those as well. So, you know, when your boys, I do the same for you, Arun, hooking that up. But here we come to the downside, Facebook. Let's see if we can crack this level. I feel that we can get a hell of a lot lower than 188.20, but because that's where the 50 period is, and because we've bounced, I am going to put a bid, 188.25, see if we can't catch 50 cents on Facebook, and then we'll try to hold the last third, man, all the way to the bottom. It's not a huge position because of the way this has been trading, but I think we got to take advantage of 50 cents if we see it.
Yeah, well, the thing with Facebook is it's the only name in the top 10, I guess, NASDAQ, that's actually positive. But
I know, it's
keep
crazy.
in mind, though, Facebook has its own reasoning for moving. It got destroyed in the last little bit. As stocks were moving down, Facebook just got chopped, right? So with Facebook having done all of that already, it makes sense that there's some sort of a, not relief rally, but somewhat of a bounce after all that being done, even with the market being done now, or market being down so much now, it's not moving with the indexes because it's already spent a lot of bullets on the sell side. So leave Facebook as is, and we can't really count it as part of the index. It is part of the index, let's not forget that, but it has got its own reason for movement.
I don't have like an Arun spike or anything. I'll say, yeah. Actually, that's a very good point, because I was thinking about that the other day, is the people that have sold Facebook might be done.
Yeah.
You know, that's, look, I think there's still a widely held name. There's no doubt about that. But I feel like a lot of the bullets, like Arun was saying there, may have been emptied out on Facebook already. So that is a great look on that. Okay, here we go. First of all, let's go to the downside. We're trying to get this bid. Unbelievable. We're bidding 29. It just stopped at literally 30 there. So 188.29 is another bid out for us on Facebook. It just stopped a penny away from us. That's no problem. We'll get it eventually. A lot of talk on Mullen Automotive. Look, we hit this and quit this, right? It was a great trade up to 210. We talked about that earlier on the day trade. This is where 210 was on the daily chart. It came all the way back in from, let me just maximize this so you guys can see it. I don't even know if that's better or not. But it came back to March 1st, those levels right there, 210. That was our indication there. So we did hold, whereas now I need the minute chart again. So we did hold on that early break. Like I said, if Neil was here, he probably would have been shorting the same areas there. Probably would have got blown out off the $2, but then that 210, 208 area was a good one. I think you have to pay for shorts on Mullen. I didn't today, so that's a reason why, but we were only going long, and we actually held the long. I was looking for a break. It did come back in. We got out at 175 for the last 10%, but Mullen, a nice move. Look where these bids are coming in, and again, if you guys are looking at this, right in here, 160, 165, the same bottoms that were in the pre-market appears to have the same bottom of let's call it 150 there. So if Mullen does fall back in, I think you got some love there at 150, but for me, guys, this is not a trade unless you're sitting there honestly focused on your level 2, looking for size to show up and whatnot on the screens like right here. This is going to be a very, very hard trade to put on. It needs, in my opinion, to take out this 210. I know, and that's a far way away. We're already up 35%. I just don't know if there's enough juice in this name to do this right now. The volume has died off significantly here in the middle of the day. Picking up now as we take out VWAP, but very, very careful in trading here on Mullen. I don't really love it unless we get to the extremes. And for right now, I don't really want to trade this thing in the middle. You saw CEI, man. We hit that like crazy. CEI was one of my #1 stocks last week, but then it fell below that $1, and I've left it alone. So just like Arun doesn't like to trade stocks, you know, Tesla, $700, $800, $900, something like that. For me, sub-penny stocks, I don't like them because there's too many games here with the gateways and with the ECN, so we've left CEI alone. Although it's 66 million shares, for me, this is a finished game. Like, you either what, am I gonna go long 81.5? Like, I don't play these penny games, so I'm leaving CEI alone. But by the way, there was another cash, so we'll drop boom on this one. Another cash on Facebook one more time to the short side. You can see only one time we got blown out right here, 189.10. Other than that, it's been bang, bang, bang to the downside, a bunch of fills. Hopefully now, Arun, just like you're holding your softie, I'm gonna try to hold this one. No bids left on Facebook, guys. Martha.
Hi. CYRN is a cybersecurity name. Popped up on an Iran headline, but is coming right back down. Anyways, some volume coming back into CYRN. RCAT, that one from this morning, a drone maker, topped out again. Day highs. Looks like it's going to reverse again, but huge volume again on RCAT as well, guys.
All right, I was going through the chat. Tyrone asking the big questions, the ones that need answers. Is metaverse still a thing? Haven't heard much about it since the Facebook flush. Well, for the only thing I can say about that is you're absolutely right, and I just hope for the sake, I mean, Microsoft's involved, so I would imagine there's going to be something, but I would hope for the sake that for the people that bought $1 million properties in the metaverse,
Snoop Dogg.
Or trying to be next to Snoop Dogg in the metaverse. Yeah, so for all those people, let's just hope that metaverse is an accelerated project that is still on track to come out when it is going to come out, because I just read a quick article, Googled it real quick.
What was it?
2.43 million record purchase.
Someone actually bought
500 square meters.
Who was that, Bieber or something? Because I know he's into that. I know, we'll find it out later. But the metaverse is something, man, I'm telling you right now, I just don't know what it's going to be. There's all these memes out there. And I think that those of us thinking that, yeah, you know, you're going to go like on these virtual dates and things like that. I mean, that's not what the metaverse is going to be. The funny thing about all of this is, and people will joke about NFTs and this and that, NFTs, look at Bored Apes and things like that, at least my Wall Street Bull, it's holding up. It's actually going up in value as this market is completely crashing. So anybody that was invested in the stock market and making fun of NFTs, look, I'm not sure what the real point of them is going to be in the long run. I have some ideas. I think it could be used concert tickets things like that. I think there's a lot of interesting things you can do with NFTs, but for now, I think it's very, very much in its infancy. But yeah, a lot of them are holding the value as compared. Look, you may not understand it, but just go over, look at a chart, look at the NASDAQ versus NFT land, if that even exists, and you'll be able to see that NFTs are outperforming the market right now. Trust me on that one or not. What's up, Ms. V?
Hey guys, just 10 minutes left until the start of Power Hour, and I want to remind you about something really important. Please smash the like button. Wanda Brown on the chat says 2.7 people watching and not even more than 300 likes. Come on, man. Come on, guys. Indeed. Randy says boo, and I believe we can do much better. So team, please smash the like button, and back to Arun and Sean.
2,700 people watching and 300 likes. That's just sad, guys. Come on.
300 likes?
Yeah, we can do better than that. Way better than that.
What up with that? We'll get it. We'll get it. This show always is a late bloomer. So you know why? And this is the other thing too is that there's so many people that are watching this show that have watched the morning and Prad show and now this show. So it's like they're liked out. But the thing is, it's 3 different streams. Although it's the same feed, you got to hit the like 3 times if you can do that. And again, you guys talking on here, there's a lot of people here talking. Yeah, look, I'm not here to say that NFT trading is legit or whatever. It's just there's people on here that is like have made tons of money. Curling, yeah, I love curling. By the way, I'm going to do a curling NFT, man. My kids, honestly, just absolutely love curling. We had a great time with it again, and they're actually sad. We head to Miami next week, and they're sad to miss out on their curling. I'm like, guys, Miami Beach, like, what are you guys, nuts? But they really love that curling. Thank you, Tisha, for bringing up that. Curling, always fun. Shout out to Brad Gushu, who took down the Briar yesterday, which means nothing to anybody. Okay, what else is at Days Low, and not even Days Low, Arun? You may be thinking about going here with the family. Disneyland right now. Disney all the way down to brand new 52-week lows as, yeah, man, travel industry be damned today. I know Brendan came up with, some talk there. CCL, the cruise lines went from a level 5 to level 3 or something like that on their ability to operate, which was a positive sign. But Disney today, man, wow, you want to shut down China and things like that. Disney's going to be affected huge. That's a monster market. We saw Wynn with Macau. We talked about LVS. You know what? I was going to go short LVS at some point here. As Macau, Facebook, first of all, the market's starting to rally. And Facebook, I'm just going to get out of Facebook. The Facebook shorts are no good. Look at LVS today, man. It was $48 2 weeks ago. $48 2 weeks ago. $32 today, and the same thing is true for Wynn. I'm in both of these. I'm not in LVS, I'm in Wynn. And yeah, the Macau story is not over with as they close casinos. People very, very worried about all of that. The licensing, apparently, not to worry. But definitely a big worry right now for these casinos is travel. Will they be able to operate, so on and so forth. So for me, yeah, a big state of concern here for the casinos.
Well, yeah, with travel, I mean, again, it comes in highs and lows, right? Right now, travel names. Remember, cruise lines and airlines were hot for a little bit, calmed down, everyone moved on to other things, and now they're back in the news again. And that's what you're going to get here. Disney, travel names, NCLH. Somebody was asking about NCLH. Boeing, also a mover today. Anytime we go to travel names, I immediately, yeah, I know, but they make the planes. But at the same time, I just like Boeing as a whole, the way it moves and whatnot. It's been pretty garbage recently, but at the same time, when it kind of figures itself out, there could be a nice little trade here. It does look like this 166, 165 actually would be a nice little level to work with. But for the time being, it is going sideways. So I guess you're going to choose the other names that you want to work with. I am short, as you can see, I am short Microsoft, Caterpillar, Citigroup, and WFC. WFC I've had all morning, and it finally came in the money about 30 cents. Microsoft, 80 cents in the money. Citigroup's flat, and Cat is out 43 cents for the time being. Hey, we'll just keep waiting. In the meantime, we'll go to Brendan.
Another is Uber down this morning. We didn't get to it in the pre-market, but they came out this morning and added a fuel surcharge to your next Uber trip. Because of gas being so stupidly expensive right now. I just read Lyft is also obviously going to follow suit now and do the same thing. So both of these under pressure.
Yeah, you know that fuel surcharge? It's added now, but when gas prices go back down, it's never coming off. It's always going to be there. It's going to stay there, 100%.
Are you saying it's a scam?
Well,
Transitory? Yeah, I don't know what it is going to be either, but you know what? They need to make some money, so
Well, they definitely
I don't have a problem with Uber doing that. You want to ride with Uber, you're going to pay the price, and that's fine. I still think it's really reasonably priced. Shout out to all the Uber drivers out there. That's a hard. You know, they're the ones, honestly, and I don't have any family in Uber, even any friends that are drivers, but they've been working, you know, hard throughout this whole pandemic, whether or not it be Uber Eats, whether or not it be driving you guys around or whatever. So shout out to all the Uber drivers out there, mad respect for that. I don't have a problem with them upping the prices, and I think it's a wise decision to do that, man. Pay I feel like it should, as long as it goes, pretty much the majority of it goes with the driver, the people that are putting the gas in, then I don't have a problem with that. I think I have a problem with Uber splitting some of that profit. But okay, quickly here before I go on about that, but mad respect to all the drivers out there for sure. 77.25 on Alibaba. Look, this is a name that we hit early, man. We've been short 82, short 81.50, just straight to the downside. This consolidation that happened around 78.50, not really sure what was up with that. The volumes stayed pretty strong, but right now, this is what you call barcoding. As we'll zoom in a little bit more, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I like the fact that we're below the 50 period. And again, I don't want to short as we come up to this. Like maybe we will. I mean, I could put an offer at 77.50, and if we blow higher than that, then we get out. But realistically, I think the out is up here somewhere, 77.70 or so. So with that being said, I'm not taking the short. So this is going to sound crazy, but I'd rather wait, take this long at 77.70, and then use this 50 period as momentum to help us find that bottom down here at 77. So it either breaks this bottom of 77.25, which I think we do here, considering what this market's doing, or we wait for it, which I'm doing. I'm doing both of these. So you can have 2 orders in, right? I have a stop order upside 77.70 in case we take it out, which might happen right now. I don't even have the stop order in. I got to put it in. Or, oh, shoot. Or we wait for that bottom, but it looks like we're going to go long BOBA very soon.
Yeah, I just dumped my Microsoft trade. Looks like the market's rotating out, so let's start dumping some positions that are starting to hesitate a little on Microsoft. Attempting that 278 multiple times and not get, actually that's the wrong chart. Actually, we'll go to a different chart here. Microsoft attempting that 278 multiple times and not getting any success. So why not actually just walk away from this as we get near the end? It's been a down day. Some stocks are starting to bounce now as short covering comes into play. So let's start protecting this, especially after we got above 278.50. I was like, I'll take my win and walk away. It's like 30 cents or so. So we're going to walk away from that. It's still in Caterpillar and Citigroup. And with WFC, I'm going to look to start taking that out as well. Brendan.
On that Uber note, guys, right here, you can see the surcharge will be based on the average trip distance and increase in gas prices in each state. Uber said the proceeds will, or additional fees, will go to drivers, which is good to see. There you go.
So we'll bang that out right there. We'll go good. Awesome. Right there. What just happened? Okay, Alibaba. There it is. Alibaba, free Baba now to the upside. We know where Jack Ma is. Probably on a golf course right now, chilling. But there goes Alibaba to the upside. We're going to get something out. We just flipped. Oh, we did not flip long. I thought we flipped long Facebook. Not yet. Almost flipped long Facebook, 189.50 or so. We'll try it. But remember, look at the market. It's still in an area of, I don't know. I should ask you. You're not in a futures position, are you? Because, like, what are the futures even doing? I think you got to wait for this 13,000. And Arun reminded me that we're on M contract now. So get flipped over to that right now if you can, if you're not yet, especially if you're on the Prosper Pro system, which we have here at Daytrade the World, the M contract for the NASDAQ. But again, it's still doing nothing. Yeah. And I feel like if we start pushing around shares now, it's going to be a problem. So with that being said, that's why I'm over here in Alibaba, and it just went up. I tried to get out some at 90 there. It actually stopped at what price? 89 there. Yeah, of course. As if 89 it stops at. Here we go. Sometimes you just have to complain about it and it'll come back up, but we're going to go long. Let's go. There it is. So we're out now there. So there it comes to the upside. We're riding this Alibaba here, northbound. The train has started. Let's see if Alibaba can get back to the upside right now, especially if the market wants to go. But I don't know. We've already talked about this bottom of the day. I'm comfortable holding it to that. Looks like it might be a momentum switch. We're above the 50 period now. And then the market comes right back down. This is the frustration that I'm talking about. It's like, pick your poison sometimes, man. And, you know, it's a good thing we didn't get out. I mean, we're still flat on this trade. We're long at 73. Don't really know what the problem is. But it's just frustrating as it's just bouncing around. So we'll have to hold on to this. I am giving this to the break of the low of the day. So if it breaks there now, I've already dug into the long, although I was debating the short initially. I like the fact that we took out this 50 period. So let's see what happens now. We're only long at 73. Worst case scenario, this thing drops to 25 and it's like a 40-cent hit. Definitely holdable in our account. So we'll watch out for that. And then Facebook, again, 189.50 will be a reverse to the long side for Facebook.
Yeah, as you can see on my screen, I've dumped most of the two longs I had that were in the money. WFC and Microsoft, we're going to walk away from it. This short covering, it's in an area, Sean, you were asking about, like, well, where is this in terms of futures levels? Well, we're in a buy zone, actually. We're here. So anytime I start to see some buy covering, I'm like, this could easily just rally it right back towards 4,200. So we'll start protecting some of the gains that we have, and some of the ones that are flat, I'm going to start shedding risk on. Caterpillar, clearly, I'm out of the money, so I'm going to keep that one because we're going to have to work onto resistance. There's no point in dumping a trade like that, given what the risk profile for that trade was, and it's just only $1 against me right now. So we'll leave it alone, but I am starting to be a little bit concerned about the ones that are somewhat flat right now. So with us trading around 41.65, we've still got 41.25 as a support point. We also have 40.95. That should be drawn here as well as a support point. 41.25 is my support point that I'm going to work with right now. If we can find a long, there could be a long in play, but right now, the way I'm seeing it, there really isn't. There's just a decent trend. So what we're going to do is going to go 42.05, and this is what I've been doing since we took out that 85 earlier this in the afternoon or so. I was trying to get my offers in there, trying to work an offer in that made sense for me to take a shot towards the downside, and I just could not get a fill. The way the market was moving, I could just not get a fill at all. So now that the move has been somewhat, it's gone, the downside move has gone into that support level, there's no way I can catch it on the bounce back because it could easily be a long, right? So what I'm doing now is looking for a long around this 60 going on down towards that 41.25, see if we can't pick up a bid. If we can find a long, we'll try to run it back towards 4,200. If we can't, we're not going to force the issue. Let it trade, figure it out. There's still one more day left before we get 1.5 days left before we get the Fed involved. So for the time being, just trade with patience. As the Fed gets closer and closer, we're getting closer and closer to the low that we put in on the 24th of last month. So this market is looking like it wants to take a look at what's below the low, or even set it up for the Fed as that gets closer.
Yeah, hit the like button. Thanks, Arun, for some of those calls, guys. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the share as well. I did what's up to Frank Jones. Yeah, thanks, Frank. He was talking about here in the chat. Where was it here? And again, if you tag me, it's easier to see. But this will be a miracle, Sean. I don't know what he was talking about there. But he just basically said somewhere, anyways. Oh, here it is, right here. Go with the flow. Right now, the flow is still down. And I think that's what we're talking about. And I said, yeah, good idea there, Frank. I just took Alibaba because I honestly feel like, oh, this is Facebook, sorry. Alibaba, I just felt like it was too much barcoding down there. And look, instead of that 77 like I took, if we had taken that 57 there, then we could have already taken that 40 cents. But instead, we did wait and got more specific there. And I did get another 20% there at 68. So for flat, 5 cents there hit. Now it's starting to go back up. So again, on the first 20%, we took about 20 cents, and then we lost 5 cents there, getting nervous about the break. But we're just going to hold on to this, man. And let's just see. You could see what the market's doing right now. It's extending higher, trying to break through this mid-afternoon low. So we'll just see if that can happen. And then if it does, man, we do have Alibaba on board. And we like it. We'll lose on Facebook, of course, as it's... my buy went out at 189.45 and missed. So unfortunately, we missed that buy there on Facebook. So I'm just going to punch this ticket out. We should have already been long at 45. That's where the out was. We'll put a bid here. Hopefully it hits us on the way back down. But that should have been a little bit less of a hit than this. We wanted to go long here at 45, right there, that break. Unfortunately, my order only goes out at 45, so I guess I didn't cross up high enough. So right now, Facebook's getting out of control, but we only had a third left of this. So, we'll see how high this name wants to go now. This is all good because, honestly, my net's ripping here because of Alibaba. So there goes Alibaba. Nice little win here to the upside. We'll see if we can get something out around here. 78.30, my next offer for Alibaba, and then I'll manage that Facebook. And again, you want to talk about slippage? That's another word right there. This is slippage. My order was trying to get out here at a 40 break, and I only crossed up 5 cents. So that's the slippage. Alibaba going upside. Facebook hopefully comes back down and fills us.
Yeah, that's all you can do, right? As a lot of shorts are moving out of the way or getting out of their positions, you're seeing this market rip up. Citigroup, my short, is ripping up against me, as is Caterpillar as well. Futures has now completed a, I hate the fact that...
Round trip?
Well, not round trip, but I hate the fact that that banner at the bottom doesn't allow us to show the bottom of the
I know, it
EA
sucks.
charts.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Maybe we got to put that on the side.
I think it looks fine here. It looks natural here, right? At the bottom. Guys, where do you think the banner should be? On the bottom, where the position banner is? Should it be on the bottom or should it be to either side? Anyways, I pulled up the E-signal chart just so I can show you guys here. As the futures bounces in that buy zone area, I mean, at this point, what are you going to do, really, right? You're kind of boxed in. You've got to find a trade north of 80 for a potential short. There's no long setup just yet around that 60 marker, so you're waiting, right? I noticed in the chat, someone's like, let's see some moves already. Well, I don't know if you're talking about us or the market, but if you're looking for trades from us, we're not going to force any trades. This is real money on the line, so we're always
I mean, we've put, what? I put on Facebook, Baba, you put on Microsoft.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, give us some names. Homie.
Yeah, we're not going to force any trades. So this is real money on the line. So
I will.
Well,
Just
okay,
joking.
Sean's going to
I'm
force some
playing.
trades. I'm not going to
I'm
force any
playing.
trades. I'm the guy who just waits all day until I find the one that I like. So we'll be waiting again. I'll just manage the 2 hour. We've got less than an hour before the end of the day. It's been quite the ride, right?
I think we've talked about a few key levels, right? I think that's all you really have to wait for. I mean, the Microsoft's bouncing around. Something else I want to talk about quickly was PayPal. We were in and out of that one. And I tweeted this out, man. And this is what before I go over PayPal, like, look at this. I just tweeted this out right here. And it was like when we were trading PayPal, look, out by the skin of our teeth. I just said my teeth. But right here, we went long PayPal off these bottoms, 98. Look where we got out, 99.50, 99s, and then it broke VWAP and then continued to go to the downside. So that's off of Twitter. We just tweeted that out. And I like to tweet out some of the charts because look, this is what it was right here. We went long off these bottoms, right? We started it up here at the 50 period, 98.20, and then we were able to get a 97.80. And then look at this, just ripped up. This PayPal, a big, oops. Didn't mean to hit that one, we meant to hit. Bang, was a nice trade here for PayPal. But look at the important thing, and this is what it is. And when you're managing your trades, look at this out. Right here, bang, to the downside, right? We're able to get out of that. Sure, it looks like it was a great short, but we weren't looking short, so we get out of that one. So even though we were long PayPal, we're able to survive it because we stayed disciplined. And I think that that's the key thing about what we're doing when we're trading, right? Is trying to stay as disciplined as we can, make the right trades and make the right calls. And I mean, until we see something, like I'm looking at Apple right now. What is Apple's day low here? We're getting very, very close to that as we speak, even though the market just made a nice move upside. Yeah, 150.40. So we're still waiting to short that. I mean, should we put on this Apple trade maybe? 150, 150 could be something. That's something to look at here for Apple. But I'm going to try to find something that's around the 50 period that I want to go short on. And I'm not sure Apple's the right play. You guys have heard me mention Tesla. Like, again, what, you want me to put on a trade? I mean, it needs to break this bottom. I love the Tesla break of 755 if that can come through. And I honestly don't like playing these tops here. I mean, one top, two top, maybe we can go short 770, still wouldn't have that trade on. Once you guys hook me up, let me know. Peloton, we're still holding a small bit of Peloton in our account. We did go long at 40, it went back up to 40, we got a gift, we're able to get something out. But Peloton today, you mentioned even Arun as well, like this went down to 20 bucks. So that might be something to look for. Maybe we're gonna find a Peloton short.
Yeah, well, for today, I'm done looking for any more trades. I'm not gonna go into anything else. But I am setting up trades for tomorrow because I've got time. Market's kind of just messing around a little bit. So let's look at what we can look at for tomorrow. AMD 100, we're trading at 102. We did a nice little bounce off that 101. So as we get towards 100, that could be in play, AMD there. Coin fell off. So Coin was a trade from earlier today that actually, I kind of messed up a little bit. I went for the long and got run over, but Coin now has declared this 160 as a decent buy side line. So why not put in 162 and see if we can actually get a fade into that 160? That's one option for Coin. What else do I have here? I've got FedEx at 217. A nice little potential fade here. If we get a rally tomorrow, why not fade it into the 213, 214 with the 217 stop? That's an option. So I'm kind of going through my little list of alerts that I've got marked off for another day. Just because it's not working out today doesn't necessarily mean that it won't be set up for another day, right? Especially that AMD around 100, that's going to be important. People are going to be watching it. Futures coming back in. Now, after having gone to 70, how high did it go? 73.75, we're now down to 61.75. This market, the liquidity of this market is just absolutely nuts. The volatility factor is crazy because you would think that there'd be more action than what we're getting.
I know.
But we're not. It shows like 20 contracts on a level, 20, 30 contracts, but I refuse to believe that the speed of movement is 20 or 30 contracts. I feel like there's half of that is probably gone through the programs, and the other half could be real size. So the way it's been moving is absolutely nuts. So here we are back towards 60, and we're not that far away from lows. 10 points from lows. We were 20 points from lows. Now we're only 10 points from lows, and we've seen what this market can do in less than 5 minutes. So here we are waiting again. We've still got about 50 minutes left, 40 minutes before the inbounds come out, and then about 50 minutes before the close. And then we've still got an entire day and a half till we get the Fed. And I think that's what a lot of people are going to be positioning for, especially around these closes.
Day and a half, Wednesday. Looking
towards what the Fed may do. It's not going to be about the interest rate itself, right? Everyone's factoring in a quarter point move.
You know what I think is going to happen?
The prize is going to be a half point.
You know what I think is going to happen?
What's that? Yeah?
Yeah, I really think Jay Powell is going to come and save the day. I'm not sure they're going to reinstitute bond buying or any sort of stimulus like that, throwing the paper around, but I feel like his words will try to be as calming as they possibly can. Let's just wait to see. I feel like the market is going to be in rally mode, but not today and not tomorrow. We probably fade into Jay Powell. And then I feel like at 1 p.m. or so Wednesday, when we get the announcement, it's going to be at 2, I feel like you can start to buy a little bit Wednesday midday. That's my call. You can hold me to it. That's fine. I don't know anybody else. Last time I said that Jay Powell was going to rally the market, they did. And we'll see. Look, the market's at lows now. So, I mean, how well this rally holds, I have really no call. But I really feel like a lot of the time when we think it's going to be just the nastiest thing ever, it can turn out to be the other way. And that's all that I'm saying there. A lot of people are going to get caught offside. Look, remember we saw Snapchat when Facebook missed. It was down 50% one day, up 90% the next day from those bottoms. So it's just about people getting caught offside. And I feel like there is potential for that to happen on Wednesday. And I mean, the market right now is down. But, I mean, come on. I think there's going to be some uncertainty. I do expect a choppy day tomorrow. And then, like I said, Wednesday we try to buy. Okay, AMD, if we can get back up here to 103 and change, I feel like this is a short in front of that 103. So I'm going to try to short 102.80s, 102, in and around there if we get a bump up. And then we protect that 103 VWAP, okay? But on the short side of things, AMD has no problem failing. We've seen this big move down to the downside, protecting that 101. I feel like if the market, decides it wants to go down, we at least test that 101, maybe even 100. So on this break right here, I want to go short AMD. So we got to break below here. Ideally, I'd like to see us break below 101.90 on AMD. But for right now, I'm just going to tell you the price. Might be a little aggressive, but 102.20. So if we do break back down below here, we're going to try to short right into here. Look, it's ripping to the upside, so maybe that's wrong. We are we're long Alibaba, so I don't have a problem going long here in the market. But again, I just feel like it's too choppy. We need something with directional bias right now, and I don't like DraftKings. What am I supposed to do with this chart? Like, you guys tell me, DraftKings not doing anything. Mullen, I'd love to trade Mullen. Okay, that's a nice story right now. What about Roku? Someone said Roku. I know we don't, just like we don't talk about Bruno, we don't talk about Roku today for Arun, because I know there was some ill thoughts about that this morning. But again, what's it really doing right now? It's just hanging out. So if we can test 100, then maybe we can look at Roku again. But right now, a lot of these names are hanging out. We're going to try to bring the fire here for you on the show, but levels need to break and things need to happen. So if there's a name you want Arun or I to look at, let's do this, man. We'll talk about it right now. And we can look at Ford. Sure, there's a nice little yellow out there from Randy. Ford. So this is down to those levels again, 1570. These are actually levels that we talked about in our sticky note today. And I thought we talked about 1580, didn't we? 1550 was the support. Come on. Again, like on the sticky note today, like why am I looking for the chat here? We have the answers. This is what we wrote down. Look, Ford, Support at 1550. Maybe we'll start to short at 1580. Well, look, it went right down to 1550 and stopped completely on a dime. So there's the sticky note. Patient game there would have worked. But again, it's not rocket science. Just you got to wait for these levels. 1550 there on Ford has nice support.
Yeah, I'm looking at the chat. A lot of talk about the Fed, right? It's like, oh, what if it's a 0.75 increase? I've never heard. I didn't even realize that 0.75 was even a topic of conversation. I don't even think they're going to do a move like that. So it's going to be either quarter point, which is like 90-something% at this point, I think the projection is, and then half a point, but that seems a little too heavy-handed to start off the rate increase, right? So quarter point is what most people are factoring in. Obviously, if it's not a quarter point, you're going to see some wild movement. Quarter point plus projections is what's going to be the key thing, right? What is the rate and what is the pace? Now, they're factoring in, I think, three increases in 2022, 3 or 4. But anyways, that's going to make the big difference here. What is the pace and what is the, after this is done, what is the Q&A session? What is said in the Q&A session? Because that starts at 2:30, right? So at 2 o'clock Eastern time, this gets released. And then at 2:30, Powell sits down and does a Q&A. And that's where you see markets sometimes do a complete reversal. So be aware of the different situations that you're going into. If you're trading Fed day, that there's going to be a rush at 2 o'clock, probably for 5-10 minutes or so while the market figures itself out and starts to figure out a direction. If it starts going and then you start to see a complete reversal at 2:30, it's because there's a Q&A and they've kind of read a little bit into what Powell's words or what he's saying and then decided, you know what, maybe that's not the direction we want to go, spin it around and go in the opposite direction. So be aware that that's how Wednesday is going to go. Up until that point, it's a matter of positioning or lightening the load a little bit. You might be seeing a little bit of selling as markets lighten the load or people's positions are lightened up ahead of time as we go into that. So that's kind of what's, you can make a story up for whatever you want, but at the same time, it does make sense why going into Fed week, there is some selling happening before that comes out. So the market's at a point where it has bounced all the way up to 70 and 41.70, and we're still sitting in a support level. Let's just kind of game this out a little bit here. Yes, if we were sitting at support, positive news, it has a reason to bounce straight up, right? If we're sitting underneath this, what is the support and it runs up, well, it's going to run into some sell-side activity, so you got to be worried if that's a false move. And if it's negative, well, you blow through support, you're gone to the downside. So that's kind of what we're setting up, but tomorrow's not done yet. So that'll bring up some new information in terms of what the levels are going to be looking like. And usually, if the market is going to go through a level with the Fed, it's going to go through a level. It doesn't really care. But it's just good to know that these levels exist.
Okay, yeah, no, 100%. We are going to be very, very excited about the futures tomorrow and on Wednesday, and it should be a real exciting day. Like someone said there on the chat, Neil's back on Wednesday. That should be good, should be fun. He'll come back here on Wednesday, and hopefully he'll be back. He didn't tell you this probably, jury duty.
Oh, he did, yeah. He said
so you might be here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Well,
Monday,
no,
Tuesday,
well,
Wednesday,
yeah,
Thursday.
right. He said Tuesday and sometimes selecting jury takes it's multiple days. That's fair. He's not on jury duty yet. He may not even be selected for the jury.
Fingers crossed.
So I'd rather not be here. So hopefully it's just a one-day affair and he's back in town.
It will be. He'll be fine.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, definitely next Wednesday you'll be here. Neil and Arun on the 1s and 2s, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of next week. Okay, so the NASDAQ looks like it is trying to pop through here. So, so far so good. But here we go into a position on Ford right now. Obviously, if the futures pop, this is not going to work. But we'll take it today. It's down 2%. We know the bad Tesla news talking about how, the supply chain is not, Tesla is not immune to any sort of supply chain issues and that they are themselves facing, but you see Ford pretty sick today, all the way to the downside since breaking 16. Again, we always kind of ignore the open on these names because there's a lot of market on open orders. You could see the largest candle of the day, a 1.6 million sell candle off the open that sent this thing from 16.15 all the way through down to 15.85 there. Then we stopped on momentum back up to the upside, and since then it's been all the way down. So look, I'm just going to play this on a tight tight stop, 15 should be at 17 at least. 15.75. I mean, this would be my play for the year right now if I could make one. I really think Ford is too low at these levels, but 15.75 to the downside, that's going to be our break if it goes upside, but we are short right now into Ford, looking at least for 15.65, which is where the 50 period is. Oh, here it comes all the way to the downside. That happened a little fast, so we'll have a look at that and make sure that, again, you guys wanted a position board. We'll put one on right now. We'll get out of a little bit here. Ooh, if I can get some 67s, I'll take you. And then even if we can get lower than that, we'll do that as well. So right now, short at 70 on Ford. There it is. We'll take a little, as it's starting to crash back down, we'll take a little bid there at 67. So how about that? You want some trades there. The Maple Leafs not looking good this weekend, putting up a stinker on, it was Heritage Classic in Hamilton, outdoor game against the Sabres. I went to the last Heritage Classic for the Maple Leafs in Detroit at the Big House. That was 100,000 screaming maniac fans. That was tons and tons of fun, but they really, stunk the bed up it was yesterday afternoon in Hammy. But there's another bid right there out for another one at 66. So yeah, so far so good here. We don't want to hold Ford for too long, but if we can get something down, that's so brutal. We get something down here at 15.61, we should take that, and then lower lows coming for Ford. But again, this is where we're short. Up here, so far so good. Alibaba's trying to blow up to the upside as well. We're holding this name. We'll just see, man. Hopefully we can get another bid out here, 78.10 or so for Alibaba, just in case it wants to go. Come on, Ford. You can do this to the downside.
Ford to the downside. Yeah, I'm just going to ride.
Go Capitals, go Sabres. The thing about the Maple Leafs is they're not only have they been a complete disaster the last couple weeks, but the Calgary Flames overtook the Toronto Maple Leafs as the odds-on favored to win the Stanley Cup for a Canadian team. That's pretty brutal. Shout out to all my fans in Calgary, lovely city, but we say go Leafs, go here. One of my friends was going to Ottawa for a March break, and he's going to catch a Sens game. I said no. No, you wouldn't catch me cheering for Ottawa Senators. That's for sure. You're not a big hockey guy.
No, I'm not a big hockey guy, but I did pull up the standings of the Atlantic. They're third in the Atlantic.
Yeah.
37-17.
Pretty hot fire, bro.
Two-game losing streak. Okay. Yeah. At least we're not the Red Wings, down 5-game losing streak apparently. Yeah, wow. So okay, but the big team that I do, as much as I'm not a hockey fan, I do remember this much. We always seem to have an issue with Boston.
Yeah, and Tampa Bay. Yeah.
Well, Tampa's in front of us in second place, 38-15, and then Boston 36-18.
Put the thing on the board here.
There you go. There you go. So
we turn into a hockey show.
Yeah, well, I'm not a hockey guy, but I do like to see where our teams stand. Apparently, we're dead center here. What's that?
Randy likes the Hurricane.
Oh, okay, well, we don't care, Randy.
The only Hurricane I like is the drink. Have you guys had the Hurricane in, have you been to New Orleans?
No.
Wow, yeah, those Hurricanes, they're basically, it's like a Long Island iced tea. Ooh. You basically just trust the dude that's making it as he's pouring every single bottle into a cup. And it's slushy and everything, and it is...
So it's just a mix of everything?
I mean, I'm sure there's an official way of doing it, but I'm telling you, like you guys on the chat will know about if you're in New Orleans there, the Hurricanes are dangerous. Needless to say, when Neil and I were there, it was chaos in the mind, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, because a lot of the issue with a lot of those drinks is that you hide it behind sugar. You don't realize how much alcohol you're actually drinking.
Oh, that is exactly what it is.
And then once the sugar wears off, you're done. That's it.
It's basically like one of those 7-Eleven Slurpee machines. Yeah, that's what a Hurricane is, and they're pretty delicious to say the least. But yeah, you don't want to have too many of those, especially if you're counting calories. I would think alcohol plus sugar water, yeah, nasty. Okay, you guys know what it's all about. Yeah, heartburn in a cup. Yeah, I mean it's just crazy. People still loving Tony. Maybe we'll get Tony back here at some point. But there's another out right there, 67, 68. I don't know what Ford's going to do. We're just going to hold the rest of this. We're out of like 15%, not even 10%. We'll see if we can go to the downside. I'm trying to hold this one for a big win here. Let's see if Ford retests the bottoms. No more getting out. We're going to wait to see if we can do something down here. Like 62 will be my next out. How about that? We'll put a bid at 62, cancel everything else, and see where we go. Although we may get taken out at 75. It's Miss V's world.
So my jacket in the back. back, so you should hear me right now, guys. Hey, so please make sure you subscribe, guys. It's absolutely free. And you know what also is absolutely free? Like button. And we need just 100 more like to get to 1K. So smash the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell notification to receive them when we post new content. Back to you.
John, isn't
But
there,
everyone missed the key point there.
which was what?
Was that we're only 14,000 away, right? From
Yep.
300,000
300K, yeah.
subscribers.
Yeah.
So hit the like button. We have our little YouTube plaque up there that apparently we're not supposed to show. Like, I don't know why not. But we do have the YouTube plaque. I don't know what the next time we get one. I think it's half. Is it half a milli or is it a?
One.
It's 1.
100 and then 1. Okay.
100, yeah, you get 100, you get one at 100,000 and then one at 1 million. And they're really cool, the YouTube plaques. Actually, if it's over there, bring it over here. I'll show it. I don't, fire me, whatever. I think it's fine. It's not bragging. I think that was the whole point. And that is right here. Thank you, Randy, for that. We are very, very proud of this. So there you go. Thank you, Randy. This is the YouTube official Trader TV Live YouTube plaque right there. So we're really proud of that one. And I feel like we could put it, you know, somewhere, get it hanging here throughout the show. But there we go. Thank you so much for that. And look, that wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for you guys. So a big shout out to everybody and a big thanks to my big man right here. Thank you, Arud, for continuously to fill in and providing us that next level of information.
We are nearing an anniversary for this show, right? This show started in March of at some point, right? Did we not? It's been 2 years.
I have to find out the exact date because the whole point was we started this as an internal show.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure our very first YouTube day, but that will be something we can easily look that up. So we'll look that up. Like Randy used to be like the only guest we had on the show. And it was me and Randy talking cars. And then of course we adjusted everything. We brought on Neil, we brought on Arun, obviously, and then it's morphed into a much bigger all-day thing. And I couldn't be more proud, obviously, of the team that's here, including Brendo. What's up, Brendo?
It was, guys, I was just double checking. I believe it was March 23rd. Could have been March 20th as well, but I think it was a Monday. March 23rd of 2020. So yeah, we are just around the corner here. So it's been a crazy ride, but yeah, I believe it was March 23rd of 2020. That's the YouTube one, though.
Yeah, 2018 internally, Randy's saying, and then thanks for that hit. So I don't know. You mentioned you're not going to be getting into anything. Is there anything that's looking half decent here? Because honestly, I'm still in Ford and I'm still in Alibaba, and I would really, really like to look at other names. But like a Mullen, okay, Mullen's starting to go now. I do like a 210 break. We talked about that. I don't think it's worth touching until we do that, but this is not a horrible spot. If you're long Mullen on this afternoon break of 194, I think that's decent. I would probably get something out here at 198, 199. I don't even know if I'd look at 2. What is 2 looking at right here? So lots of size at 2, guys. Over 1 million shares here at $2. Look, it's done 500 million, so it's not a lot, but just psychologically, there are some levels there at $2 on Mullen, guys. So watch out for that trade. And then we'll just look at Ford right now. Yeah, you just let me know when you guys are ready to show anything you want.
They're ready.
Oh, they're ready. Okay, so here apparently is an old clip. There we go. No south. So you can see there, look at our trading floor there in the background. I don't even know who that guy is. Lots of random people. And this is me and Randy talking, obviously, there before the show even started. We're at the desk. Compare that to the desk that we have right now, and you could see pretty crazy. But thanks for that old school look there. Maybe I should tell Liz about that. We could social media that thing out. But there's what it was. The White House says it's not in a position to confirm any intelligence on China. Isn't that always their position? I mean, I'm not trying to be underhanded there, but China doesn't tell anybody anything anyways. Yeah. So I don't know what they're going to know. But that's the other shoe to drop, man. Like, U.S. warned China, do not help Russia out in like any fashion. And China, apparently, Arun, has been like radio silence on that. So people very, very worried about what that relationship is, hence part of these market moves, guys.
I mean, it's fair. And at the same time, the dynamic is different from U.S.-Russia versus U.S.-China. Dynamic is completely different. So they're going to have to figure out a diplomatic way of handling things because it can't go the same way. Let's just say that, right? So this market is kind of pricing in risk on multiple fronts, right? You've got Fed, which could be a short-lived event when you compare it to what's happening globally. And then regardless of how that goes, you've got to figure out the relationship and the risk associated with what's happening with China being involved, whether it's from the Russia side of things or even from what they're doing with the COVID side of things.
Yeah.
Right. So there's always a risk associated with the market. Sometimes it's all great, but now you're getting hit with multiple things at the same time. And right now, this market's pricing in that risk and kind of taking some risk off the table. And you know that if we get below this support level, which is around that 4,100 mark, we're gonna look at 4,000 even as the next big round number on the S&P 500. Big round number, probably has some volume and some support around it, but there's a lot of risk on the table in a short amount of time. And I think the market's somewhat getting spooked, but be aware though, there's gonna be opportunities to find gems that are golden, I guess, at this point, right? Ones that are setting up really well because the market, not just the market dynamics, but the stock itself is solid. It's just getting priced down with the market, right? So you got to look out for those. And if you're looking for investment opportunities, obviously respect what the market environment is, but at the same time, you can go ahead and look for some gems that are kind of not getting completely blown out of the water. For everyone who's bought higher and now getting run over, I mean, you were in a high market environment, very volatile, and it was going up for a very long time. Now, a little bit of a correction. People are going to start to find some little bit better quality names that have kind of undervalued themselves by moving too fast in one direction. And now we're just going to kind of, it's a matter of being careful with the risk that you're going to have to deal with.
I'm just looking at AMD again to make sure. I'm going to cancel my order and then see about another one. It's funny, like as you say that, I was like, wait a minute. I'm like here talking about how we can never trust China, and I'm long Alibaba. So we may have to, I'm going to take another piece out right now on Alibaba. Where's the minute chart right here? If we can get, and again, just sort of zoom back in here. We've been bouncing around and it's, oh, this is AMD. What am I talking about? Sorry, that's why it doesn't look the same. We've been bouncing around right here at 77.80 on Alibaba, and it's like, well, I don't know, we took 1 5-cent hit there. I don't even know what I was thinking there. And then 1 15 cents. And then, you know, honestly, if we can get something out right around here, 82, 83, we'll get one more piece out. And then if I have to hold the rest for a move upside, we'll take it. Sure, I won't cash as much as we should have. But yeah, just not doing anything. And I mean, how can we possibly trade like this? The market is what the market is. And right now, oil making a nice little move down, although oil's closed right now on NYMEX. It's only trading on, actually it's only trading on NYMEX on the electronic side of things, so not in the CME. But Facebook still back down to that 187. I guess this was a name that we should have trusted to the short side. Again, we were short. We got taken out right there. But again, the only short that ruined us was early right there, and it didn't ruin us. Out there, out the rest there. Short and out, short and out. And then the last one right into there is now we're starting to make some new lows here in Facebook on, not new lows on the day, but we're starting to finally push to the downside here in FB. We should have believed in this short, but we didn't. So that's too bad. We do have Ford on the watch as well. Wow, man, this 50 period has really climbed to the upside right now. Ford doing absolutely nothing. We picked another barcoder right here.
Yep, name of the game at this point. Stocks that are not doing a whole lot are now all of a sudden making moves, and ones that have gone on the day are just going sideways, right? Citigroup, since I got in, has kind of gone against me, went like 10 cents of the money, and then is now against me by 20 cents, and now we're coming back in. Market just went to 75, now we're at 62.5. That means we're 12.5 bucks. Actually, we're not even 12.5. We're actually 10 points from the low. So market wants to look at 41.50 going into the imbalances coming out in 20 minutes. Okay. So it's all going to be up to the imbalances at this point. If we get a negative imbalance, we're probably going to extend to the downside anyways. This market can take it even before then. But it does look like the market trend is to the downside, and that little bounce, that short covering rally is over, and now it looks like we want to go back south of 41.60, and you know that if this imbalance comes in, we can accelerate a little bit more. So for now, we're just going to wait this one out, and hopefully Citigroup can get back to that 54, because I'd rather just start shedding risk on these names. I don't want to carry anything. I'm done. It's been a rough day, so I'll just walk away from this and come back tomorrow, refresh, and be ready to go. Brennan?
Hey guys, there is a halt. IXHL, which is a biomedical company, halted, news pending. So this thing went from barely trading all day at 21 to 80 and is now halted, news pending. So not saying it'll even be anything, but a heads up, if we get this thing actually trading again before the end of the day, IXHL halted.
All right. Yeah, thanks for that, Brendo. And we've adjusted everything. We'll go Alibaba. Alibaba is still my #1 stock on the day here, so we'll slapshot that. And we just said, forget about it, man. You see the market crashing down. We have a nice win on Ford. We'll talk about that. Bang on Ford as well to the downside as that's starting to crash down as well. But there's Alibaba. We're gone. Fine. This was basically a flat trade. We took that trade just as we went to Brendan there. We took a 72, and then it cracked. I mean, whatever. Look where it is. And then we took a 58 on a 60 break. I don't know if it's going to be fine or not, but I don't want to be in this name. Alibaba, forget about it. We already hit that short rate here amazingly to the downside. So Alibaba, my #1 stock on the day, and we don't need anything ruining that. Look at Ford. How does that taste right now? We'll go yum, yum, yum. Oh, that's Neil eating me up. Ow. There he is. Hey, what's up, Neil? There he goes. He has no problem with that, taking that down. But there we go, Ford to the downside right here. We're chomping that one. Nice little fill. I told you we're waiting for 63s. There's our 63 fill, so we're on one on that as that's starting to go. We did electrify ourselves a little bit here with SoFi. So we took SoFi to the short side. That may, I mean, I might just put another bid here. That doesn't look like it wants to work, man, and I don't want to be holding the bag here on SoFi. So we did go short here on SoFi on that break. It looks like the break should have been 92. Again, it's a little bit of an old order that we had there, so I should have had this 92 instead. Instead, we break lower at 90. We did get an 87 or 88 bid there, but that's not that important, to be honest with you. So I was hoping for a much longer move in SoFi down to the downside here, possibly taking out the day's low. Look at the futures. We are at the low of the day here in the NQs. So like, why in the world is SoFi hanging out upside? I don't know. So we'll wait to see here. We take out a little piece there because we're confused, which what else is new. Now we'll wait down here for 785 into this level. And then hopefully, guys, SoFi continues to fall down. But Arun, maybe you want to do your talk about the imbalances, because you do a pretty good job of that. And I actually forgot about that because you do have the imbalances coming out now in just 15 minutes, which can definitely affect the momentum of your stock.
All right, let's quickly go over this here. For anyone who hasn't seen our imbalance locator, again, this is our version. This is our internal version. For anyone who's from Day Trade the World, you guys have access to this through the imbalance locator. For anyone who's not using our software, well, you guys can contact your broker and see where it is on their system. Because most brokers are going to feed it into the system. It's just a matter of where they're putting it and whether they're allowing their clients to access it or not. But the information is there. Anyways. Imbalance locator, it looks like this. It just tells you what this market is bringing to the table in terms of volume, on close volume, right? Are we going to get a buy side imbalance, or are there orders that are? Oh, we forgot about that shake, the arrow shake function that is still not off. Anyways, so at the end of the day, at 350, all orders that are tagged with an on close order tag will get executed for the official closing price. So when that happens, the market maker will take all those orders and try to figure out where the balance is and price that order accordingly. Now, obviously, some days there's going to be more selling than buying, and there's going to be something called an imbalance. This locator will tell you which direction these imbalances are going to be in for each individual name. As you can see, a lot of this info is from this morning, so ignore it. Let me also change out the, We'll keep it on NYSE. So a lot of these names are from this morning. As you can see, the market time is from this morning, because at 9:30 this morning, the imbalance stopped updating, right? So now we're going into 350. At 350, the first set of imbalances are going to be sent out. It's going to be a live update. At 350, we get all that information, and we get to see which direction each name will have in terms of volume and direction, right? So we can see the volume, the direction, how much of that has already been assigned, meaning already been canceled out by an opposing order. So what we're looking for now, when these imbalances come out, is a large discrepancy, meaning the stock's done 10 million shares and there's an imbalance of 5 million. Oh, wow, okay, 50% of the day's volume is going to be executed on the close. So we'll keep an eye on that name. And as it gets closer and closer to the end of the day, that number is going to start shrinking. But if it's still large enough, you're going to see a large flow in terms of program trading towards the direction that these imbalances are going to come out. At 350, the number comes out. At 355, you get an update from the floor with their interest in these individual names. And a lot of times what happens is these names that come out with large imbalances at 350, once the floor's interest is also added to the mix, they kind of disappear on you, right? So you got to keep an eye on all that information if you're using this imbalance locator for figuring out what your trades are. Or you can even participate, right? If you know the program pressure is going to be in one direction, sometimes you like to jump on board and see if that program is going to take the stock up with it. So there's a lot of games to be played, but you need access to this information to figure it out. So for now, symbol on one side here. I don't know why it's like this right now, but the one that matters to me is side, size, paired value to see how much has already been assigned, and that's it. All I care about is the direction, the imbalance size, how much has already been matched, and obviously the symbol name, right? And at 350, we'll go through it and give you guys an update on what this number is going to be for each individual name. Obviously, we only care about the ones at the top of the list, right? The big ones that have large imbalances. The market's down like almost 2% on the NASDAQ, so we may have some big names coming out towards the end of the day.
Yeah, yeah, good. Thanks, Arun, for that. I mean, and that's the imbalance locator, right? And I think eSignal does have it, but like you said, contact your broker, figure that out on your side right now. And then there's always a website called Financial Juice. That's what Trader Prad reports to us early, and he's telling me right now it's 480 million to the buy side. And again, that's the resource that we use. It's called Financial Juice. It's a public Twitter channel. We don't show anyone's handle or anything on here except for guests of ours. So, you know, Daniel Shea and things like that. So we don't promote it, but that's their data and that's where we get it from. So right now, early mock on the buy, Financial Juice. Thank you to Prad for that one. So that's what we use. All right. Macy's. Someone talking about Macy's today. Not healthy. Okay, Ford. I see you. Are you trying to go back to the upside here, Playboy? I don't know about that. We'll see. I was just putting some orders in on Ford. It does want to go up here. We'll see if we get a 30 out here. Sorry, 65 out on that bid. So far, we're waiting for downside moves as well. We've been cashing out a little bit on this one. Hopefully, it doesn't barcode like it's trying to do right now. Hopefully, to the downside with those imbalances coming out. Macy's, and again, I was going to say, it's not down 7%. It's up today. I like Macy's, man. Maybe like a little bit of a real estate play as well there with the properties in New York, obviously. But you can see Macy's right here still holding out pretty good. Forget about this high of 37. That was on activist and on some talk about them trying to get rid of maybe their online division and whatnot. But Macy's right here, I really like these longs into 20 bucks. So if there is a collapse, we've talked about American Eagle before, but I do like Macy's. I also like Williams-Sonoma. But again, I don't know where Williams-Sonoma might be having some issues with supply chain. We'll have to look at them WSM. But right into here as well, I think this is a decent level for Macy's down to 20 bucks. So if that can come through, then that's pretty decent. It's still one of the only names you're going to be able to find above or at its 200 period right now. Macy's, besides some of those crazier stocks like the Mullins and all that of the world. And here's Macy's. We're going to look at this tomorrow near 23 if it does come back down. Right now, fighting the trend to go back to the upside here. Look at the futures. You want to talk about choppy? Like, how many times do you take out the low of the day here at 340 and then just kind of bounce a couple handles up and then hang out and do nothing again? So I feel like this market right now is very confused about what the Fed wants to bring to the table, as am I. So we got to trade it accordingly. And as you could see, man, Alibaba, good thing we got out of that as that's starting to break lower. And again, part of trading, man, is getting out so you don't take those hits, you know? And when you can sort of sense that things aren't going right, like look at Alibaba, man. We had no real reason to get out of this other than the fact that we just didn't trust these plays to the upside. So we get out, and now we don't have to lick our wounds on it breaking that low of the day like we talked about. So, you know, it's going to backfire sometimes, like in Facebook's case, where we got out. But the reason why we didn't hold the short on Facebook, and again, I'm just going to try to spit knowledge, was that the market's down 2%, Facebook's flat. So the short, to me, was in trouble there for Facebook. But again, you know, one of my number one stocks today anyways. We can also talk about Rivian. That was a great short off the open. Look at this. Looks like Alibaba. Look at that short on Rivian. 38 short on Rivian. Bang, bang, bang. Reload the short in here. Good trading. And look at that. Again, we'll write down these levels for tomorrow. 36.50 on Rivian. How good of a short is that? Hits it once, hits it twice. That means it was nice. Brendan.
Speaking of retail, Lowe's, guys, up nicely today as well. 2.25% here. Just testing day highs on decent volume as well. So, yeah, there is some strength in the right areas apparently today.
Well, yeah, Lowe's was a nice one. I don't have Lowe's on my list of names, but I do have Home Depot, and Home Depot is actually up 0.75 as well. The reason I'm not trading, I maybe have to take a look at Lowe's, but the reason I wasn't looking at Home Depot, really, I mean, we're kind of just like doing this, right? There's not a whole lot going on. So that's the only reason I'm not looking at that just yet, but definitely going to add Lowe's to my list of names instead of Home Depot. Actually, I'll add it with Home Depot. But even then, even after you add Lowe's, like it's also still within a range itself. So like, I mean, if you crack 231, maybe it opens the door to the upside. But until, this is no different from what the futures have done. 231 to the upside, and then looks like the bottom is somewhere down here. I don't even know. I got to look into it. But it's somewhere through the bottom here, around 219 or so. Everything in the middle, you kind of just go back and forth with, right? If you're good at range trading, this is your game right here. This is right up your alley. For me, I'm not good at range trading. I've kind of figured out what I'm good at, what I'm not. Ranges, not for me. So I try to stay away from them as much as possible and see if we can't get some sort of a breakout or a consolidation move or something that I can actually work with where volume has been established. And then I'm going kind of like going past it, right? So that's what we're looking for. For now, though, I think for the most part, I'm going to call today as a done day, right? Caterpillar, Citigroup, we'll close that out after I see what the imbalances are. But for the time being, we're still waiting on those imbalances. We're about 6.5 minutes away from these imbalances coming out. And we're still waiting. This market, where's this market? 61? Yeah, not much of a bounce. I mean, we're bouncing, but I mean, it's a quick bounce off that 55, right back to 60 and change, I think it was. Let me pull up the 5 here. Nice little bounce to, what is that, 66, and then right back to 60. So it's moving 5-6 points without even blinking. And now here we are sitting at 60 and a positive imbalance supposedly, and we're looking not too far away from the lows. So here we are waiting still.
So I've made over 235 or so, 210 trades today. And unfortunately, Free Movies, what's up? He's correcting me with my English. So we sit here, this is my 6th hour live on the air, same as yours, Arun, with no script. And I already don't speak English very well. And now I have, Sean, the correct English is, as I am, not as am I. I still think like not as am I, like
that's valid.
Right.
That's valid. I've heard that before.
Like you're in Facebook, as am I.
Yeah. I mean, okay, we don't need to go into English lesson, especially
Anyways,
from
I'm just
YouTube.
saying to you guys, yeah, thanks for that note, noting that out. I'm not calling anybody out because, as I said, I don't know what the right way is. It's just that, yeah, I get a little delirious, to say the least, at this time of day, let alone earlier than this. Let's go. So yeah, here we go. The future's starting to pick up a little bit now, so we're gonna have to watch out for some of these shorts. We do have a SoFi short on board right now. Okay, so it's Prad saying let's go. So the short is coming. So get ready right now. We'll just play around with Prad here. He likes the long, which means the short will be good. Watch out for Ford right now, trying to go back up to the upside. The market's trying to take out that 50 period right here. But again, as Arun was mentioning, we are into the teeth right now of the mock imbalance. So that's market on closes are coming through for that one, and that's about it. Let's look at Tesla. We'll take a little piece out. We're not scared. We ain't scared of anything right here. If SoFi takes out 96, then we down. Other than that, man, we'll hold SoFi for hopefully a new low of the day print coming near the end of the day. So that's what we're going to hold for that. And we are holding on to our Ford here coming into the close. And that's about it. Arun, you know what to do if there's anything that's on your mind.
Yep.
And then Tesla right now as well. TSLA. Like, this is a name that, guys, honestly, I was so close to getting in right there at 757, but it needs to take out this low. I thought it was going to come through. It's 755 and change. But just to let you know, right now, that is off of the table. I'm not taking any high breaks or low breaks right now. Not when we have, and again, we're day traders. We do not hold anything in these accounts that you're watching us trade right now. This is for Day Trade the World. It's a prop firm. We don't hold anything overnight. So for me to take like a 55 break here on Tesla, I have to get out at 4 o'clock. So if we don't get the action in the last 10 minutes, then there's absolutely nothing to do. So you're gonna have to take that out. You can't like withstand it and say, oh, I'm gonna get out if it takes this. No, whatever price is at 4 o'clock, it's our responsibility, to get the limit orders out and basically close our own trades. So that's what we're looking at right here with Tesla. And I just want to tell you that I've canceled that trade. If it works, great, but I'm not taking it here because the last thing you want is a major imbalance to come out. Let's just say it's $2 billion to the sell side or something that we've seen over the last couple weeks. That will send the market tumbling, but it may just be temporary, right? So that $2 billion can turn into $1.5 billion, so it gets paired off. And as that's happening, you'll see the market start to climb back up. So with that being said, what just happened to us was true again. We heard Pratt and everybody else, here we go. So we get a little bit out of SoFi, and then the market reverses all the way back down. So you got to like stay true to your positions. I'm going to hold out for SoFi here and see if we get a lower bid, 775. My bid on SoFi right now is at 780. Hopefully that comes through.
What happens if you don't get out? Well, one, you get a talking to.
You're fired.
But now the rules have changed a little bit. I mean, there's some, like it's held against you, but you also don't get the profit in the event that the stock makes money overnight. Because you took the risk on the firm's capital that the firm has now had to take the risk on itself. You don't get to keep the cash in the event that it actually went in your favor, right? So that's kind of the situation with you are able to, if you're stuck. But if you know, there's nothing you can do about it. But if you end up holding on purpose repeatedly, trust me, you're going to be talked to by compliance, and it's not going to be a good talk. So definitely don't want to do that.
I've had that talk a couple times.
There you go. Sean's had that talk. He knows how it goes.
And I just go, talk to me. No, we're just playing around. Yeah, it's definitely a day trade the world policy. So we're just playing around. I've never had that talk. Okay, so we're just going to do this. Let's just play this by ear here. It's only a minute to go here in the imbalances, and we'll call them up for you and have a quick look. Just so you know, in case these imbalances go nuts, SoFi, 796, we gone on that one. Ford, I just put the order out and I stopped it actually. Ford, where's our out? I'm not too worried. We have cleared out of a little bit of Ford. We only have a third left on this name. So again, not a name that I'm overly concerned with, but we do have to have an out on that. So our Ford out will be same kind of price, 1575. So we're going to get ready to rock and roll with only a dime, or actually just under a minute left here. I was going to say a dime. That's what we're looking for. We'll watch to see what happens. So I'll have the stock up here. You'll have the imbalances here, and we'll have the futures right here. So we'll be able to watch. Remember, on Financial Juice, Brad just tweeted it again 3 minutes ago. 482 million, but it hasn't changed. The imbalance hasn't changed that I've given you in the last 20 minutes. So I have no idea what it's going to come out as. We are looking low side though on all names. So we'll watch out here. Ford's coming through. Apple's going to be on here. Let's watch Apple. Apple's always a mover, especially near some of these levels. So, oh wow, Apple close to the low of the day here. So this could be real spicy, man. I am expecting a sell imbalance to come through on Apple. So let's get ready to rock and roll as we are close, man. Only 7 seconds to go right here.
Yep. Let's see. Let's take a quick look at what these imbalances
Actually, you can
are.
stay over here if you want. You come to my screen. Here come the I didn't even realize that. Sorry. AT&T coming out. Palantir's a buy. Okay, that's strange. We don't ever see that one. Other than that, man, all buys. So it looks like Pradley might be right on that one. Not. Look at this move to the downside. Where's the sell coming? The sell side right now. 1.12 million shares on the sell side. So there we go. Apple bringing this market back down in right there.
Nielsen's on the board too. Nielsen, which was gapping up earlier, and Nielsen 1.4 million shares to the buy side. Remember, Nielsen was the one that Brendan brought earlier with all those gaps across the board, and we kind of just walked away from it after, you know, this, right? Gap 1, gap 2, gap 3, all the way up to 28 and change, 25 and change, and then kind of drift down, right? Here we are now, though, with the buy side imbalance after a move like this. Buy side imbalance of just short of 1.5 million shares. These are somewhat small. Only 4 stocks above 1 million shares at this point. ETWO, I don't even know what that name is.
They're all like no indexes, basically.
No, they're not. AT&T. But 1.6 million shares on AT&T on a stock that has done
it's a $25 stock.
40 million shares. Yeah, this is one of those things where 1.6 million doesn't mean a whole lot, right? Nielsen has done a decent amount of shares, and it's moved a lot. Nielsen is 1.5 million on 34 million shares. What's WMB? 6 million. Oh, there you go. WMB 1.4 on 6.8 on the day. That's a better ratio in terms of looking for names. So maybe WMB is something that can move. It's a sell side imbalance. So I'll just put the stock over here and see if we can't actually pay attention to this as we get to that 355. Remember, at 355 we get the update from the floor regarding what their interest is when it comes to the stock.
Yeah, we will do. Thank you, John, as well. John, for the love. Thank you to Arun, everybody on the show. You wait till 4 o'clock. I'll do the run down the gauntlet of thanks to everybody, because listen, this is exactly what we're talking about today, man. White House says it's monitoring supply chain impact on ports in China. That's good. I'm glad that they're monitoring that. White House also says U.S. oil from Venezuela not an active conversation at this time. So we'll have to watch out for oil. Again, close now. You've seen all the volume here at 230. You can't really see it, but that's the volume spike. So the close at the CME about 103. We trade after here on NYMEX about 101.70 for oil. But closed right now down 7% on some of that oil rumor. We did get some love down here for SoFi, and I'm just embarrassed to show you these because honestly, like, I'm cashing out a whopping 2 to 3 cents. But what am I supposed to do? Like, I took this trade at 330 on SoFi. It's moved 2 cents since I took this trade. Same thing on Ford, man. It's trying to go higher, but we did make money on this to the point now where we only have 20% of the position left. Each one of these is about 10% out, and we're going to have to wait to see where we go now on Ford. But just a pretty boring close, and I apologize for that, but Arun and I cannot make the market. So all we can do is try to take advantage of it. And we talked about Apple going to the day's low, and that's at least we got that one right, as the market is red today and turning redder. But there's that play. We called it. I called this move on Apple. Said we'll probably see the low of the day on the imbalances. At least we got that right. But hey, for tomorrow, Apple's at 150. Look out below, man. That 150 is going to be a spicy target. And I bet you tomorrow after the open, man, we're probably at 148. I don't even think we'll see that 150 level. Probably gets taken out here in the aftermarket. And then we'll see tomorrow 148 or so off open. So I actually don't mind a swing Apple short here. It's down 3%. That's too much. There's obviously something up. They're taking that Foxconn news to heart. So watch out for Apple tomorrow, swing short.
Yeah, it's been a rough day. I don't know about for you guys, but for me, it's been a rough day. Between the shorts that could have been, what could have been, right? And then the runovers by SCN Coin. I closed out the one that I just had on CAT. Not that big of a deal. It's a $1 hit, but like for the most part, I'm just going to walk away from this. Come back tomorrow. There's going to be, obviously, there's a lot of activity. I think the big thing is, though, this market is sitting around key areas on the futures that we can actually figure out something. I wanted to trade earlier, but now that we've kind of gone sideways, we've got that 41.25 down below. We've got that 42.05 above. See if we can't find a trade, whether it's on the short side or the long side. This market in a great location for another trade at some point during the day tomorrow. So we're going to set things up for tomorrow, walk away from whatever hits that we have, shake it off, come back tomorrow, and then we'll just, move on and figure out what other trades that we can take. WMB is still running to the buy side. Oh, it flipped? It flipped to a sell? Oh,
I wasn't even
1.4 million shares, but it's still running to the buy side. I don't know why it's a sell, though. Anyways, maybe it was a sell to start off. WMB, for the most part, has run up about 14 cents or so since these imbalances have come out. But yet, I'm seeing it as a sell-side imbalance. In about 3 seconds, we should get the update from the floor. And what are these imbalances looking like? Oh, PM jumps on the board, 1.8 million shares to the buy. Nielsen's still there, 1.2. WMB got a little bit smaller, but still a sell, 1.1. And we'll see how these stocks close out as we go to Brendan.
Hey guys, we're just having a issue with our intercom. Nothing very exciting all week long, in fact, as far as earnings are concerned. The two biggest names of note, though, FedEx and GME. And those are both on Thursday. So FedEx, GME coming up on Thursday. But yeah, that's for today.
Yeah, I mean, the only one there we talked about was GitLab. Oh, I mean, I heard, we didn't talk about it, but I did hear Trader Prad talking about GitLab. So that's another name there to have a look at. And to be honest with you, I don't know anything about any of those other ones. So I'm just going to be that's not Coupang, that's Coupa. So we'll wait to see what comes of it. But I guess the GameStop will be pretty cool to have that come through. And we saw AMC, actually. Just as an update, I'm pretty much out of everything. I'm holding on to these, but we'll just market them out at the end of the day. I'm not too worried about these positions. We're basically flat on everything. We took a 90 bid on Ford, and we took an 89 bid on SoFi. So that's what that's doing. AMC, I was going to say AMC touched 13 and change today before bouncing back up, but now it's right back at the day's low pretty much. I mean, 1330 here. We're at 1360. That really sucks, man. AMC, the apes have held out as long as they could on this, I feel like, but there's just no help at all. AMC now about 10 straight days to the downside here. There is one day sprinkled in there, March 8th, it looks like. But other than that, man, it's been a really, really nasty 2-3 months here for AMC shareholders. Again, 40, I mean, I'm sure no one's holding them now, but I don't know. But anyways, $45 a couple months ago, down to 12. But at the same time, like, I feel like AMC is the one name out of all of these names that have gotten destroyed, like a DraftKings, like a Palantir, like, well, I believe in Palantir more than AMC, but AMC still has a viable business. It's just a matter of, can they be profitable in the current environment, and will people return soon enough to the theaters to save them? And I'm not going to talk AMC to you guys. I mean, everybody out there that is part of Ape Nation, sure as hell, I hope, knows a lot more about AMC than I do. But I feel like they're not dead in the water yet. I mean, this is one name that I think can get going again. I'm not going to make a call on levels because, you know, when you're looking at PE and you're looking at valuation right now, AMC fits the bill of a stock that continues to move lower. I just feel like, as far as a business is concerned, I support AMC as a business more than GameStop, because honestly, my kid's 10 years old, he used to love to go to GameStop. I don't remember the last time he even asked, because he's downloading games and doing stuff like that and buying merchandise online and really not going to GameStop. So again, won't talk about other people's positions, but I think I like AMC better than GameStop.
I actually feel the opposite. I like GameStop over AMC.
There we go.
The only reason I say that is because GameStop actually has the option or potential to turn themselves into like a Best Buy type of business, right?
But then aren't they dealing with Best Buy?
Yeah, they are. But at least they have the option, the ability to do that, right? So it can turn into a kind of a technology center, essentially. So that's kind of my reasoning. It's been a while since I've been to a theater.
Either way, let's hope that this happens for everybody, right? Let's hope that we can have this little ape riding for a while here. GameStop and AMC, hopefully both going to the moon.
But in the meantime, there are a lot of other names. Don't get caught up in just one or two names, right? There's a ton of names. This market is going to give you a ton of names. Everyone's talking about MULN today. Don't get caught up in one name. There's going to be something somewhere else to put your money that will move much faster in the current environment. So be aware, be open to anything and everything. Let's take a quick look at the amounts. This PM is still there, 1.8 million shares to buy side. Nielsen still there, 1.1 on the buy side, and BKE has snuck in there with a 1.5 million sell. So anyone's wondering, that's what we're dealing with as we get closer and closer to the end of the day. Sean, before we get to the end of the day, I'm curious, what was the last movie that you saw in theaters? Because I can't even think of one.
Oh, Wolf and the Lion 2 weeks ago, but that's because we got sponsored to go there. So it was a really good one, actually. Wolf and the Lion, it's a kid's movie. It was really, really cool. But after that, before that, honestly, I can't remember. I mean, we were locked out of theaters for
even
for
before then. I can't
time.
even remember when the last time was.
Oh no! I mean, I have lots of friends that are actually still going.
Yeah.
It's the big movies, right? It's the Avengers. Well, you should know. It's the Star Wars, the big sort of. That's what I think theaters are all about. But there are home theaters right now that are kicking butt. So that's the one downside. Let's hit the countdown right now, as we only have 10 seconds to go. Thank you, Arun, for a great show. Oh, it's the combo. It's what everybody's always wanted. Here it goes. It's Miss V and Valeria. There's Miss V and Tony. 0-0-0. Hit the bell. Ring the bell. Yo. Sorry about that, Tony. Miss V and Tony right there. But did you notice something? They were on each side hammering that bell.
At one point, they almost
At one point, I thought Valeria was going to smoke that guy in his face by accident, of course. But I'm glad it didn't happen either way. We don't need another Pratt incident here on the show. But let's go. I don't think we end up positive. Thank you to Tony right there. Thank you to Ms. V. That was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, I didn't see the chat, and I didn't see anything before that. Yeah. So I could have queued it up a little bit better. You and I on our rants about GameStop and AMC. Look, I hope you guys had a fantastic day. I finished near the high of the day for myself, but I know it was a rough day for a lot of us out there. But who cares? Tomorrow is another day. We're going to be back tomorrow kicking butt as usual. And let's go over to the big desk here with Brendan and find out how we wound up.
Red, guys, for the NASDAQ and the S&P, but look at the Dow. Yeah, positive on the day. So all the way back for the Dow. The NASDAQ leading 1.8 to the downside. 7.3 for crude oil, like a huge monster move down. Back towards that 100 level again. And yeah, Bitcoin and Ethereum remain negative as well.
We can't, in honor of Neil, what about Brazil, man? We saw Brazil there, 1.9% to the downside. He always comments on Brazil. So shout out to you, Neil. Hopefully you're doing good there and enjoying some holiday. And good luck with the judge tomorrow. And hopefully he does not get picked for...
Hopefully it's not Judge Judy.
Judge Judy?
They tried to pick me once.
They tried to pick you
I
out?
said no, and I walked away. No, that's not what happened.
No.
But I talked to them, and they're like, yeah, that's fine, you can leave.
Civic duty, bro. I actually got chosen to like the second round back when I had the office.
Okay.
You were part of our office.
Yes.
And I basically got out of it just saying that I was running a trading floor. And
Exactly. If you're self-employed, you can get out of it. But
Yeah.
again, if you don't get out of it for the sake of getting out of it, do your civic duty, as Neil says. But if you wanted to get out of it,
just be
you're
honest,
self-employed.
that's all. And let the judges make their own call on that one. Okay, look, it's been a fantastic day. Tomorrow's going to even be better. I promise you that. It's going to be 8:30. We're going to run the gauntlet, like I said. Thank you to Miss Maggie, working super hard. We're trying to find, look, we got to get more people working these boards, right? I mean, the show's about to explode, about to do new things. So thank you to Maggie for that one. Thank you to Randy and Rob, both on the ones and twos. Today, Lucas, always doing Omen's work as well. Thank you to Trader Prad over there. Thank you, Prad, for wearing green on St. Patrick's Day, right? Yo, bro, come on, man. You
Isn't
gotta
that
get
on, like...
It is, man. He was giving everybody in the chat hell, and us as well.
He thought it was today.
For not...
You thought it was today?
Yo, you gotta take responsibility, bro. Yeah, exactly. It's someone else's fault.
So he thought it was today.
Always.
Yeah, he thought it was today, and he was giving all of us hell for not wearing green.
Brad should go green hair for that.
He should go green hair for that. That is true, man. So all you Irish people there, hate on Prad tomorrow on our midday show. Thank you to all the traders back there as well for providing, all the information that they do. Who else did I forget? I don't know. Thank you to Liz for social media. Tony, thank you to Tony. Oh, they want the bell again tomorrow. So tomorrow, I promise you, it'll be the combo tomorrow. It'll be Tony and Valerie on the bell, and we'll do a better job of that earlier. But I want to give a big thanks to Miss V, and a big thanks to you today too, Brendan, for all the news. It was a very, very busy day. Any last words, Brendo?
Looking forward to the rest of the week, man. Thursday is going to be crazy. Thursday, guys, is St. Patrick's Day, by the way. And we'll also get the Fed, obviously, coming up.
Let's have a Guinness, man. Let's have a Guinness because...
Indeed.
Yeah, okay, me, for sure, Brendan and I are drinking Guinness on this show, and Randy, if you're here. Maroon won't be here, hopefully not for you, because hopefully Neil will be here. Neil may have one or two sips of Guinness.
And then have to go home.
Tony will have a Guinness as well. That was my favorite. What's up, Tony? Give a thumbs up, Tony. There he is. What's up? That was my favorite part. I don't know if you've been to Dublin, Brendan, but
I have not.
Up there, Guinness, you go up on the tour, you go to the tower, and you get a freshly poured pint in the Guinness factory.
Okay.
It's amazing. The best ever. Tastes a lot different, obviously, in Ireland. Okay, blah, 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 blah. If we don't wrap this up, we never will. We'll see you tomorrow at 8:30. We're the Trader TV Live family. Have a great evening. Ciao.